CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of Kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free Kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, taking time off from mismanaging a pandemic and turning life-saving masks sent from all over the country into an art installation, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo declared Tuesday that he would use the deadly COVID-19 virus as an opportunity to revolutionize the state school system, inviting Microsoft founder Bill Gates to implement his controversial ideas about education statewide. Mint Press News reports Cuomo did not divulge many details of what his imagined education revolution would look like, but did mention virtual education and remote learning. However, Gates is best known for one thing in education, and that's charter schools. Gates is one of the most important driving forces leading the assault on the American public education system through the promotion of charter schools. Charter schools effectively privatize the public school system, where the public continues to foot the bill for the school, but has no influence or say in how it's run. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. A University of Pittsburgh researcher working on a coronavirus project was fatally shot on Saturday at his home in Ross Township, while associate 46-year-old Hal Gu was found dead in a car approximately 100 yards away of what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot. The researcher, 37-year-old Bing Liu, was found shot multiple times in the head, neck, and torso around noon on Saturday. The Free Thought Project reports nothing was stolen from the townhouse and there was no forced entry. He worked in the college's Department of Computational and Systems Biology at the Pitt School of Medicine. The Post-Gazette reports police believe that Mr. Liu was shot by another man, identified by the Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office as Hal Gu of Pittsburgh. A GoFundMe account set up for a Texas salon owner who was sentenced to 7 days in jail for flouting Governor Greg Abbott's stay-at-home rules has raised over $265,000 as of Wednesday. Shelley Luther, owner of Salon a la Mode, was found to be in criminal and civil contempt by the judge of the 14th Civil District Court in Dallas County, who also slapped her with a $7,000 fine after she continued to operate in violation of the statewide order and a restraining order from the court. The 46-year-old Luther received a cease and desist letter ordering her to close the salon. Instead, she made a public display of ripping it up, which gained the attention among supporters, several of whom were at court. The judge chastised Luther, saying she acted selfishly when she resumed operations, and called on her to apologize to elected officials whose orders she disobeyed. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Hundreds of exasperated Americans confirmed Thursday that, for fuck's sake, the article they just clicked on is actually a stupid video.
I clicked on the story thinking I'd be in and out of there in 30 seconds, but then that little buffering thing popped up and I was like, here we go.
Quickly hitting the mute button after being disoriented by a loud blast of noise from some stupid ad for Hotels.com, many of the deceived then scanned the webpage for some corresponding write-up so that they could simply read in peace, but reports indicated that would just be too convenient, wouldn't it?
Look, I don't want to watch a report or interview or panel discussion or whatever the hell this is. I just want to skim an article real quick and move on with my day. This is bullshit.
After seriously considering hitting the back button on their browsers, sources say the majority of readers decided to just let the goddamn video play out.
You know what? I'll watch the goddamn thing, and I'll probably watch the next f***ing video that automatically loads afterwards.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And it's Vincent.
And masks, man. People are going crazy about masks. Whether or not people should wear them. And some of the responses about the masks have been as crazy as the notion that it should be required to wear them. Now, there's several stories about masks here. A city required masks in stores and restaurants, and after receiving numerous threats of violence, they changed it to a suggestion.
That's good for them. I mean, the people who sent those threats should be considered folk heroes. Sick of this it's like absolute neuroticism. Right before the Concord protest, within a period of 24 hours, my mother sent me 5 texts demanding I wear a mask.
Really?
Yes, and I know she loves me. I know, it's she just wants me to be safe. But I can't breathe under those things. And also, even though they highlight my eyes, though, that's the only good thing, right? They highlight my eyes. But no, other than that, I prefer breathing than yeah.
So on Friday, mayor of this town softened the rule to encourage, not require, face coverings after several reports emerged of employees being verbally abused and being threatened with physical violence while trying to enforce the order. All in just 3 hours of the rule going into effect.
Oh, wow. Okay, maybe people aren't as sheepish as I originally thought.
I would hope not. But then again, I went to Bank of America today, and they had a sign right there on their door saying you must wear a mask to enter the premises. Obviously, I did not. But I went inside, and all of the employees obviously were wearing masks. But the only other customer there was not. This older man not wearing a mask. It was great. A lot of people are upset about it, though. 3 family members have been charged in the shooting death of a security guard who told a customer to put on a face mask. Coming to us from CNN, 3 family members have been charged in the killing of a security guard who told a customer at a Michigan Family Dollar to wear a state-mandated face mask. Calvin Munirlin, I don't know, died at a Flint hospital, this would be Flint, after he was shot in the head Friday, said Michigan State Police Lieutenant David Kaiser. So he asked people to put on a mask, and his family of 3 responded by shooting him in the head.
That's a little excessive, I'd say.
That's definitely excessive. I would agree.
So wait, people are willing to shoot someone over being told to wear a mask, but not having their house taken for unpaid back taxes.
Well, I imagine there aren't too many people in Flint who are dealing with that particular issue. I don't know.
I'm just saying in general. It's like the things people decide to stand up for will just stupefy you sometimes.
Yeah. From all indications, the security guard was simply doing his job and upholding the governor's executive order. And yeah,
he was just following orders.
There's also this old man here who went to a Dollar Tree, and a Dollar Tree worker told him that he needed to wear a mask, so he wiped his face on her shirt. This happened also in Michigan. Man, Michigan is working on becoming the new Florida, aren't they? They've arrested a 68-year-old man on assault charges after he entered a Dollar Tree Saturday and wiped his face on an employee's shirt. The police chief said that the man entered the store around 1:30 without wearing a mask, despite an executive order in the state requiring patrons in enclosed public spaces to wear one at all times. Rex Gommel of Linden faces misdemeanor charges of assault and battery, said the Oakland County prosecutor. Security camera footage inside the store released by police shows a man wiping his face on an employee's shirt. According to police, the employee had told the man he needed to wear a mask to remain in the store. He responded by saying, "Here, I'll just use this as a mask," before wiping his nose and face on the shirt, leaving behind bodily fluids, said Narsh. The employee was the only person the man came in contact with while at the Dollar Tree, who also said the man made other complaints and was loud and disrupted until leaving. So the mask thing, people aren't going for it, evidently. And I think that's good. You know, it does show that people aren't as stupid as I generally believe them to be.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And although I think it's, it's a little childish to rub your snot on someone else's shirt, someone who's just doing their job. I mean, I'm glad that people are finally getting fed up with this too. I mean, like I don't think they could keep cramming this stuff down our throats for much longer.
I don't think they're being successful cramming it down anyone's throats. You're certainly right about that. I mean, you have this city, Stillwater, amending its rule after people got angry. You have people throughout the country doing things like this 68-year-old man. Now, grabbing someone's shirt and wiping your nose on it is not good, but I'm with you. Don't wear a mask.
Well, desperate times call for desperate measures.
Well, according to CNN, they're curious about the psychology behind why some people won't wear masks. So you know this is going to be good. Coming to us from CNN, most Americans have never had to wear a mask for their health before, let alone while they shop for groceries or go for a run. So even as businesses or states increasingly require them, rebellion is natural. To a degree, says Dr. David Aronoff, director of Vanderbilt, long list of school name there. But he urges Americans to think of the mask guidance not as forced conformity, but as a necessary act of solidarity. Wearing a cloth mask could stop seemingly healthy people from infecting others with coronavirus if they're asymptomatic. He says that we're all hopeful that this pandemic disappears, then we can stop doing so as much risk mitigation. But for now, we really depend on the trust and kindness of others to protect our well-being. That's part of being an American. Apparently, some people think that it infringes on their civil liberties. Even though wearing masks isn't compulsory in much of the U.S., adhering to these rules may feel like, to some, a forfeiture of their freedoms. Now, I don't think it's a forfeiture of freedom for an employer to require people to wear masks, but for the government to tell me that I must wear a thing, that's obviously a violation of my freedom.
Oh, absolutely. And I saw some people were comparing it to images of slaves throughout history, right? Like, African slaves, Ottoman slaves, and they would be forced to wear something covering their mouth too, like masks. And then now people are willingly putting masks on. It's like it's like a symbol of submission.
Fascinating. I'll have to do some research into that particular topic because I haven't done any. He said people value their freedoms. They become distressed or indignant or morally outraged when people are trying to encroach on their freedoms. He compared the mask guidance to the ban on smoking cigarettes in restaurants or schools. There are rules about not smoking in enclosed restaurants and bars because that smoke can be deleterious to someone else's health. Now we're in a situation where if I'm infected with the COVID-19 virus, my breath can be lethal to someone else.
Your breath. I've heard, some people's breath could be lethal, but never outside of like an ironic statement. I never heard anyone say that seriously.
Well, I mean, if the contention is that secondhand smoke can be lethal to someone else, then obviously breathing out a virus, the same could be true of that. But in that case, okay, don't smoke inside. If you have COVID-19, don't go to the restaurant. The issue of all of this seems to hinge around the existence of these asymptomatic people who may or may not even exist.
Oh, absolutely. And the people who are the most susceptible are people who have compromised immune systems because they have many other conditions, which brings the question, well, why is everyone forced to why is everyone, right, healthy people, young people are being forced to stay inside when really the people who could die from this, they're the ones who should be not forced to stay inside, but everyone, it would make most sense for them to stay inside. Like, I mean, I think it's perfectly reasonable for them to ban entry into like nursing homes or retirement homes where, the majority of people, at least in Quebec, are dying, but to ban people from going into bars, going into everything, this is just, it's a ludicrous overreach.
It is. I don't know of too many people who, want to visit nursing homes in the first place. I mean, even when there's no virus, it's kind of a chore to go visit an elderly family member at a nursing home. So I can't imagine they would have too much problem with keeping people from visiting nursing homes. But restaurants, bars, as you point out, that, young, healthy people who will probably be okay frequent, it's absurd. 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Got shaving irritation? Shave Secret shaving oil can help stop it. Shave Secret doesn't cost much and is an all-American product. My name is Chuck Howard, and I developed Shave Secret and pioneered its use starting back in 1991. Ingrown hairs drove me nuts for years. Shaving oil changed all that. Why put up with ingrown hair, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts? Shave Secret provides men and women with what we believe is the best shave ever. Our proprietary blend of 100% natural base and essential oils, plus a hint of menthol, was designed to help eliminate shaving irritations like ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. We'll lose those shaving irritations. Available at Super Walmart, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant Eagle, Discount Drug, Navy and Marine Exchanges, Amazon, and ShaveSecret.com. Use the code FTL for Free Talk Live and get a discount. Shave Secret, the best shave ever.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at AnyPayInc.com. AnyPayInc.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's Aria.
And Vincent.
And Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com that allows you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash using dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site. And all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted, which means you finally have a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Again, that's local.bitcoin.com. And we want to get into this Project Veritas story, but before we do that, let's go to the phones. We've got Dave calling from New Hampshire. Dave, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, folks. So there's a woman in New Hampshire, in New London, New Hampshire, which is kind of in central New Hampshire, runs a barbershop's not the right word, a beauty salon, I think is the word I'm looking for. And she went ahead and reopened. I don't know if this was before she was supposed to, or if she was just declining to follow some of the restrictions that she says are just too much. Either way, she was doing something that the Board of Barbering didn't like, so they call her up, tell her she's got to, if she opens in the morning, she's gonna get her license yanked. She says she's gonna open in the morning anyway. Nice. And the police show up. The Board of Barbering doesn't. They just send goons, I guess. And
sounds about right.
And also, I should clarify, I'm not positive it was the Board of Barbering initially, but it was, a state bureaucracy, which would indicate it must have been. I mean, I can't imagine any other state bothering any other state bureaucracy bothering with this. This is the bureaucracy that normally bothers with this kind of thing.
Yeah, the bureaucracy of haircutting.
Yeah. So
I can't believe one of those even exists in New Hampshire, of all places.
So anyway, she lawyered up, posted about this on the Reopen NH Facebook group. That post is already at like 150 comments. However, I think she's backing down. I think she's indicated, or at least she has not opened back up. At some point, she stopped opening. She stopped opening, basically.
Well, when the government is threatening to arrest you, if you're not willing to take on that fight, then backing down is the best course of action. I don't blame her for being unwilling to get arrested and caught up in the state's prison system, but it's unfortunate that they would even threaten her with that over something like just wanting to open her salon.
Yeah, well, she's taken this further than most people have in terms of resisting.
Well, not necessarily. Dave, thank you so much for the call. There is that woman in Texas, I think it is.
Well, she, I think it was a hair salon. Yeah, she had her trial today. Or she was in court today, at least, right? And, you have a judge over Zoom.
Right.
And the governor, actually, Governor Greg Abbott, for better or worse, he defended her.
The governor did?
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. I'm looking for the story that I had about this woman, and I can't find it.
Was it the one? Are you thinking about the one where the SWAT team showed up?
No, I didn't hear anything about a SWAT team.
You know what they say? Things are done in Vegas. So apparently they have Bearcats in Texas also, and I think it might have been a bar or something. But yeah, I'll be playing the video of that on Questioning Authority, which is after this tonight on LRN.
So. More on this story from DallasNews.com. Dallas salon owner jailed for reopening in violation of court order. She will spend a week in jail after she was found in contempt of court yesterday for violating an order to close her salon during the coronavirus pandemic. In addition, she was fined $7,000 for continuing to operate her business in violation of a judge's temporary restraining order issued against the business. So they got her with contempt of court.
Naturally.
Yeah. Luther was taken into custody immediately after the hearing. I don't see anything about a SWAT team, though, so I mean, that's good.
It was a different story. Yeah, I think it was at a bar.
So she says, feeding my kids is not selfish. If you think the law is more important than kids getting fed, then please go ahead with your decision. but I am not going to shut the salon. Minutes earlier, Greg Abbott had announced during a news conference that barbershops and salons across Texas could reopen Friday. Her attorney, Warren Norred, expressed disappointment in the judge's ruling as well as the timing of the governor's decision. But what fascinates me most about this is that she was, in fact, hit with a contempt of court charge and not violating the order of the governor charge or whatever.
I imagine that would be easier to fight in court than the contempt charge.
Yeah, I don't think you can fight contempt of court charges. I mean, once a judge finds you guilty of contempt of court, no jury or whatever, the judge just says, okay, contempt of court, you're done. And that's it. It's very frustrating to watch happen and watch it play out.
I just want to add in here, this is Ian. With contempt, what they have, at least here in New Hampshire, is called a right of allocution. That's where you can basically beg the judge or try to explain your behavior to the judge, but ultimately there's no trial. It's just like he just decides what your sentence is. And yeah, Vincent, you're absolutely right. It's a lot easier to fight a governor's order than it is. But speaking of the governor, you'd mentioned that he had spoken out in favor. I actually have the press release from the governor. You had said you said it was awesome, but I want to caution you on that because you haven't actually read what he said. Shall I?
Sure.
So he released the statement regarding the jailing of Dallas salon owner Shelley Luther. Quote, I join the Attorney General in disagreeing with the excessive action by the Dallas judge, putting Shelley Luther in jail for 7 days. As I have made clear through prior pronouncements, jailing Texans for noncompliance with executive orders should always be the last available option. So he's not against jailing her. He's just against jailing her right now. He says further, compliance with executive orders during this pandemic is important to ensure public safety. However, surely there are less restrictive means to achieving that goal than jailing a Texas mother. So he's saying, fine her. Come after her business license. Do anything else. Just don't jail her. It looks bad.
Well, they did fine her $7,000 freaking dollars. But yeah. Has there been any update? Because you were talking to someone who's been in Texas who has been following this closely.
Yeah, that's who I got that from.
Is she actually still in jail?
I presume. I mean, if you've been sentenced to jail for contempt of court, you're going to stay in jail unless you can get the judge to change his mind.
Well, and hopefully political pressure can do that.
And if she gets back out and continues to operate her salon, she could be put back in for another contempt hit.
And apparently there's, somewhere I heard that there's like confirmed cases of COVID-19 amongst the people in the jail. So
of course there are.
Yes.
It's an enclosed space.
So it's totally counterproductive.
So in order to keep this woman from spreading the virus, they put her in jail where she is more likely to contract the virus.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, put her in a petri dish.
I mean, that sounds like the government. So an attorney for the city said that it didn't matter how clean Luther kept the salon. She was in contempt of court the moment she opened the salon in defiance of the temporary restraining order. So that's how this would actually play out in the real world. You're not getting arrested for violating the executive order. No, they just file a restraining order on you, and then they hit you with contempt of court. 855-450-3733.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at AnyPayInc.com. AnyPayInc.com.
Like many young inner-city students, Chicago area high school sophomore Brandy Perkins struggles every day to motivate her teachers. The frustrated 16-year-old talked to Onion reporters this morning to discuss the challenges she faces in reaching out to her underperforming educators.
Connecting with the teachers gets harder and harder every year. We all come in every morning eager to learn, but most of the teachers just seem completely uninterested in education. One of my teachers, Miss Manley, has been particularly hard to work with. She was quiet at first, but she showed some potential. I thought maybe she just needed a little time to come out of her shell, but as the weeks went by, she just sat there listlessly at her desk, never talking or participating. It just makes you feel so helpless.
For more on this story, check this week's Onion Review.
This is the Onion News Network.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll send you a free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution, which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's fff@fff.org.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
This is novelist Tom Robbins. When my mother was diagnosed with glaucoma, her conservative Virginia physician told her there was only one treatment that might ease her pain and save her eyesight. That treatment was medical marijuana, which he could not prescribe. I offered to get her some and teach her how to use it effectively, but my father objected because marijuana was against the law. So my mother, who loved to read and walk in nature, was condemned to grow cruelly, unnecessarily blind. Tragedies like this happen all the time, but they don't have to keep happening. To learn more about medical marijuana, call the Marijuana Policy Project at 1-877-JOIN-MPP or visit them on the web at mpp.org.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Vincent.
And, man, the world has lost its mind with all of the various, the drive-in music concerts. Have you seen these?
Oh, yeah. I saw the drive-in music concerts and the drive-in mosh pit. Oh, wait, no, that was just a collision on Interstate 95, but...
Do they just roll down their windows at these drive-through music concerts?
I mean, I'm sure that's a good question. I've never been to a drive-in theater, so I wonder if a speaker system is loud enough that you could hear it within your car.
Well, I've been to a lot of concerts, a lot of music concerts. They're definitely loud enough that you would hear them in your car. But why? Now, I did see that Tool has taken this opportunity to go back to the studio and record a new EP, which sucks. I didn't expect the lockdown to last for 12 years. You know, that's how long Tool spends doing these things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, let's go to the phones. We got Vernon calling from Louisiana. Vernon, you're on Free Talk Live.
Talking about drive-thru concerts, I saw in Oregon they have a drive-thru strip club. So
yeah, I've seen those as well.
Yep. Well, I haven't heard y'all talk about them, so I just wanted to add to that. I thought that was interesting. I saw a few pictures. It looked like a lot of fun.
Well, strip clubs in
maybe they'll
general
open
are a
one
lot of fun.
It's a big waste of money.
True. I think what you do is you drive through. You can't stop though. You got to keep going slowly, and you got to have your money out. But it looks like it was a lot of fun.
So you can't just like sit there and watch the girl dance. And,
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's a drive-through, so you got to keep going.
Okay,
I mean,
it's a drive-through, not a drive-in. Okay.
That's a good.
And they have all the. I think they set it up in a parking lot or something, and they've got to have it shielded so minors can't see it or whatever. But from what I've seen online, like I said, it looks pretty good. So I just wanted to mention that real quick.
All right, Vernon, thanks so much for the call. No, I'm not surprised that we haven't yet gotten around to drive-through strip clubs. That's a level of insanity that I was hoping to never have to speak aloud. That's one of those things that I just wanted to let be forgotten in the back of my mind, that once upon a time there were drive-through strip clubs.
It sounds like even more of a waste of money and exercise and frustration than regular strip clubs.
Well, regular strip clubs they're a waste of money in as much as any other form of entertainment is.
Well, I mean, like I'd say unless it's like a full contact bar, which I don't know if those are legal in the U.S. I know in Canada you could have full contact strip clubs. Well, why not just spend the money on a prostitute, right? Instead of being like
sure.
instead of
if prostitution was legal and they were STI screened and all of that, I would agree. But with that not being the case, that prostitute probably has chlamydia or something.
I see that's a good point. Or is like human trafficked or a slave or so. Yeah. I see what you mean. But like I mean I remember I've had friends all throughout college who were saying, oh yeah, Vince, let's go to the strip club. And like I researched into it because I wanted to go to a Canadian strip club that was full contact, but it's just like the sheer waste of money where you have to pay to get in, you have to pay the guy to take your jacket, you have to tip everyone, and it's just like the unspokenness of everything is for me. I never really it never really jived with me. And then like you can't you can't you get all frustrated and everything, you get all excited, and then they're like, all right, that's going to be another $20 for a dance, or you could get out of here. And then I always thought it was a waste of money.
Well, let's keep going. We got Patrick calling from New Orleans. Patrick, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, I wanted to talk about the lunatic mayor that we have here in the city of New Orleans.
I think they're all lunatics.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're probably right. Well, this one like goes off the scale.
Like Trump style or Biden style, or the Duterte style, or Duterte, whatever his name is, the Philippine guy.
Probably like Maduro down in Venezuela.
Okay.
So right now we only have essential businesses open, and tentatively around the 15th of this month, non-essential businesses will be allowed to begin to reopen. However, I wouldn't be surprised if she does extend that, because she's kind of insinuated such. But even so, whenever the businesses reopen, she's going to be expecting businesses to record people's names and phone numbers, and those businesses will have to then turn it in to the local authorities because they want to do contact tracing, as she puts it.
Oh, wow.
And so any bar, any snow cone maker, any coffee shop, I decide I want to go down to the coffee shop a block away. When they reopen, they're going to have to take my name and number and record it, because this lunatic mayor wants to try to basically, it's just another control issue, kind of like the Maduro down in Venezuela, as far as I see it. But
yeah, it's definitely a control issue, and I hope that the rest of the mayors and governors throughout the United States don't hear about this idea, because it sounds like one that would actually be effective, because it causes businesses to be the ones enforcing the contact tracing. Rather than relying on people to download and install a voluntary app, you turn the businesses into the law enforcement branch.
Right. But from my perspective, I have no intention. Then again, maybe I will get information. I'll just tell everybody I'm Mickey Mouse, and my number is 504-000-0000.
I think that's a good way to handle it. Just give them a fake name and a fake number, right?
Well, could you get charged for fraud by doing that, or like could they try and get you through that way?
I wouldn't be surprised if she tried to bring up a fraud thing too. But again, in reality, it's just put so much burden, and she hasn't come out with like a detailed plan yet. But she keeps talking about it, and it's going to put so much of a problem on businesses to try to control all of that nonsense information.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Patrick. Thank you so much for the call. I've seen this at my other job where we're supposed to get the temperature of an employee. This is what they believe the executive orders say, that when an employee comes in, we have to actually take their temperature and record it. So that's bizarre to me, that this random store, that Cumberland Farms or whatever, has to begin taking the temperatures of their employees.
And well, I mean, I could understand taking the temperature, but like recording it, what are we trying to make like a graph?
Well, I don't know if they're trying to do that, but they just want some sort of written record that we did it, I guess. It's totally ridiculous.
I don't know what to say at this point.
I don't get taking the employee's temperature. To me, that's horrific. If I go into work and they're like, oh, before you clock in, we have to take your temperature. Don't bother. I'm just going to go home.
Well, I mean, I could understand in a period of a pandemic of seeing, like, if someone comes in with a fever, that means their body is dropping napalm on the virus and they're still incredibly contagious. But also at the same time, people could still be sick and contagious and not have a fever. Actually, a lot of times when someone is contagious, it's before they have any symptoms.
Is that the case with coronavirus or with just being sick in general?
Oh, my understanding, well, it depends. Like, my understanding with viruses, right? Like let's say the cold virus, which coronavirus is a part of it, where you would get the virus, and then depending on how, like, if it overtakes you to the point where you're, what we call being sick means our body is giving symptoms, right? Like runny nose, sore throat, right. And that's the body's defense mechanism against it. It's possible for someone to be sick with a virus but not have any symptoms because the body is handling it. But it's also possible for them to be able to spread it also through, like, sneezing or saliva, through fluid. I forget the exact term. So I mean, like, I'd say it makes sense taking the temperature to make sure, because that's like an obvious way. If someone's like very sick and their body's getting overtaken by the virus, that makes sense. But it's not going to stop everyone from getting. It's not like a foolproof measure.
Well, according to the great Cornholio, who is watching at dlive.freetalklive.com, with COVID-19, 70% of people sick enough to be admitted to the hospital do not have fevers. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, as I was saying, that's just from someone who's watching at dlive.freetalklive.com. But it wouldn't surprise me to find that, most of the people who end up, because the symptoms for COVID-19 are just all over the place. 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
Houseflies defecate every 4 to 5 minutes, spreading diseases and germs. Protect your food and your health with Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic, no batteries required, only $39.95. Use discount code GCN and get an extra 10% off your purchase at bugassault.com. Fire your fly swatter. Get your Bug Assault today.
Hand sanitizer is not an option, it's now a must-have. But where can you find it? Online at 2020safe.net. The highest quality hand sanitizer that destroys microorganisms and prevents transmission of pathogens, now available in a 1-liter bottle with a bonus at 2020safe.net. When you order a 1-liter bottle of our high-quality hand sanitizer, you'll receive a 30-count bottle of Immune Booster, a $14.95 value, free by using code GCN at checkout. 2020safe.net offers many natural products to help support health and help you live a more fulfilled life. From germ-zapping hand sanitizer to immune-building nutraceuticals to natural stress, anxiety, and sleep aids, 2020safe.net has what you need in stock today. Just click 2020safe.net. That's 2020safe.net to get our 1-liter bottle of high-quality hand sanitizer with your bonus free 30-count bottle of Immune Booster. Remember to enter GCN at checkout, and the bonus is yours free. Go now to 2020safe.net.
Are you afraid to go to the mailbox because of letter after letter from the IRS? Are they stacking on more and more penalties and interest? By now, you know the problem won't go away on its own. Don't let the IRS chase you to your grave with penalties and interest and liens and levies. You need real help now. I'm Dan Pilla. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I help thousands of people solve tax problems they thought couldn't be solved. I can help you too. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com. danpilla.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. With you tonight is Aria.
And Vincent.
And do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Well, now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You make it happen, and you receive the rewards. Just download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses, then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. That's anypayinc.com. Commissions are instant. There's none of this waiting for a certain threshold or waiting for weeks or months to get your payout. No, it's instant. If you get a company taking a business accepting Bitcoin Cash, it's an instant reward every single time someone spends Bitcoin Cash at that location. It's hard to beat that. Anypayinc.com. Let's keep going with the phones. We've got David calling. David, you're on Free Talk Live.
All right. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's on your mind?
So, like I was saying earlier, me and my friend are having a little bit of a moral dilemma. We're both like libertarian / ANCAP, but he's thinking about claiming unemployment because he wasn't really let go, but because he basically just wants the money and he feels that he's going to pay the taxes in the future, so he might as well get the money now. But I kind of just wanted somebody else's opinion on it, so yeah.
I mean, there's two sides in this general position, in this general issue. One is the libertarian side that, you know, we should take advantage of every social welfare program to bleed the state dry faster and speed up.
Yeah.
And speed up the collapse of the United States government. And then you have the other side that, you know, says it's still committing aggression against taxpayers, and that's immoral. Vincent,
correct.
Yeah, Vincent, what do you think?
I don't think it's immoral at all. I mean, one, of that money has been stolen from us or our ancestors at one point. Secondly, if it's available and you're able to do it without getting any sort of repercussions, like as long as you're not committing fraud or anything to get it, I mean, go for it, because worse people than you are probably getting that money anyways. And third, the U.S. dollar is going to collapse eventually, right? As with all fiat currencies, it can't continue itself. So, I mean, like, what I'd say is if you're going to take the money, at least put that money and use it pragmatically, like use it to donate to, become an amp member at amp.freetalklive.com, use it to get storable food, use it to buy guns and ammunition or cryptocurrency. Don't just, put it all down your gullet or up your nose like the average person who gets these handouts. At least spend the money, at least make it count, right? Make it worth it.
Yeah, got you. Interesting. Yeah,
David, thank you so much for the call. As far as, a definitive moral answer, I don't think we're ever going to find one among libertarians, but libertarians argue about every little stupid thing. I mean, there are entire chats now here in Keene that are dedicated to the stupid, asinine arguments that libertarians tend to have.
I'm glad the name I came up for, the autism containment chat, caught on.
Yes, that was brilliant. I chuckled heavily at that. And I'm an admin there, obviously.
Naturally.
So I can actually rename the group. I just don't want to tread on.
Yeah, I mean, comparing
toes.
libertarians to people with autism is unfair to people with autism because they can't help it, right? Well, libertarians could, go outside and get some sun, and they're like, oh my God, my behavior's been abysmal all this time.
So what's going on with Project Veritas? They've always been a good source of information, but not necessarily a reliable source of information.
Yes, and naturally, with by them, they rely on hidden cameras and anonymous sources, which is always to be questioned, even when the mainstream media does. So right now, like ever since Trump got in, and now it's okay to use anonymous sources as long as it pushes your agenda, at least on the mainstream side on the left. So why not? Someone on the right do it. But Project Veritas has had some pretty good content in the past, just like exposing it's just like it's like Toto and Wizard of Oz, just pulling the curtain down. So here, this is from projectveritas.com. This is breaking today. CBS News this morning aired fake COVID-19 drive-thru testing site line of cars. So
now this isn't necessarily new, is it? I mean, there's all sorts of I've seen memes suggesting that CBS aired footage from hospitals in Italy, saying that it was hospitals in New York or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if I was CBS or not, because I get CBS and ABC mixed up. Like ABC, do you remember when the Kurds, right, when Trump pulled out of a part of Syria and was talking, people who had no idea what the Kurds were now crying about the Kurds. So ABC News put footage of this apocalyptic battle with tracers and machine gun fire and explosions, and it turns out it was that footage was in someplace in the United States, and it was a automatic weapons shoot off, right? And they said that this was an apocalyptic battle footage. So that was ABC. But yeah, I don't know if the Italy footage, which is I'm a news, I'm a media expert now, or in a week I will be, because I'll finally have my degree and graduate. But it's what they call B-roll, right? And so now normally I was always taught that when someone shows B-roll, right, which is just footage while someone, like an interview subject, talks, it has to be of what they're talking about. It can't be from some other town or some other place unless you explicitly mention it is, which even then is sort of cheap. Yeah. But in the cases with what I heard when they were showing like footage of Italian hospitals, they were trying to pass it off as it happening in the United States.
It would be like, for those people who have seen the Waco series, or if you actually go to an actual documentary, it'd be like if they took a picture of the bombing of Baghdad by the United States government and said, oh, look what has happened to the Davidians here.
Exactly, yes.
So that's misusage of B footage?
B-roll, yeah. Oh, yeah, B-roll. Yeah, it's total deception. So, but in this case, it's even worse, according to their hidden camera footage and their source, which I should say should always be taken with a grain of salt, but I'm going to trust it as much much as I trust the mainstream media when they have hidden camera footage or anonymous sources. So a CBS News crew pulled medical professionals off a floor at Vicherry Medical Center in Grand Rapids, Michigan, to line up in their vehicles so a CBS film crew would have a long line for their COVID-19 coverage. And a lot of this is based off of video, but they have quotes. If you want to see the video, it's at projectveritas.com. So a CBS News crew pulled medical professionals off a floor at, all right, so the subhead is just a repetition of the first paragraph.
So to make sure I understand this, they got the health professionals to get in their cars to make it look like the line was longer than it actually was.
Yes, that's the accusation.
That's pretty common in journalism. Like when we were in Concord for the 420 rally, the BBC reporter asked me to stage making a new sign, right? I wasn't really making a new sign. Well, I mean, yeah, but it didn't matter. And I've done media interviews before, so I understood that, she wanted video of me doing a thing that I wasn't ordinarily going to do. Then she wanted us to try to get cars to honk at us while they went by. And she was like, can't you make that little arm sign to get them to honk? And Ian rightly points out, well, if they honk, I want it to be organic. I don't want it to be because I asked them to.
And so it should. I mean, with asking to make the sign, I could understand that since you probably made the sign before before the camera crew was there. But yeah, I mean, I just like it's what's common in journalism. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's right for what they're supposed to do. At least in regards to ethics. So I mean, I wasn't there for the BBC crew, so I'm not throwing shade on them. But so here
she didn't speak to me again after I told her I wasn't rewriting the message.
Okay, well, good for you. Good for you. Yeah, I mean.
She was like, can you write something else? No one's going to understand that. I said, people will get it. She was like, no, they won't. Please just write something else. I said, well, you can relay my message, but don't change it.
Well, hold on now. You said BBC. That's a government company, right? That's not actually.
The reporter who was there on behalf of the BBC.
Which is a government company that's funded by taxpayers, same as the CBC in Canada. So. I mean, not that I'm giving them a free pass because they claim to be journalists, but it's if someone like the New York Times did something like that, I'd say, oh, this is ridiculous. But the fact that the BBC, which is it's British propaganda, right? It's a government. I mean, it's a government, right?
I mean, it's supposed to be, right? By design.
What? You're talking about journalism or
the BBC?
Oh, the BBC. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, British Broadcasting Company. It's run by the government, and they would claim objectivity. Like during the Falklands War, they wouldn't say, yeah, our boys are killing those Argentine fascists, but they're getting a message across, right? And I say British government, whoever's running and controlling the British government. By effect, the BBC is going to be a propaganda. So yes, you're absolutely right. The BBC is propaganda, British propaganda, and even YouTube says right under our videos from RT or Al Jazeera, it says this is funded by the Russians or the Qatar government. Under BBC and CBC on YouTube, it says this is BBC is run by the British government. So for that, I'll give YouTube I'll give them a thumbs up for doing that. At least for fair.
That is impressive. I wouldn't expect that from YouTube. I would expect them to do that with Qatar, Al Jazeera, and the other one you mentioned, RT, Russia Today. 855-450-3733.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be a part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for people to use it for everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that is as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Is oral health important to you? If you don't like your own teeth, fresh breath, or kissing people, then by all means stop listening. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I became passionate about the product that she created and never want to live without it. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, but I find it does much more. They want you to love My Magic Mud as much as I do, so they're giving you a money-back guarantee plus 20% off. Go to mymagicmud.com and use coupon code FTL20 at checkout. mymagicmud.com, FTL20.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,692, silver at $14.96, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,252. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/freekratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, taking time off from mismanaging a pandemic and turning life-saving masks sent from all over the country into an art installation, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo declared Tuesday that he would use the deadly COVID-19 virus as an opportunity to revolutionize the state school system, inviting Microsoft founder Bill Gates to implement his controversial ideas about education statewide. Mint Press News reports Cuomo did not divulge many details of what his imagined education revolution would look like, but did mention virtual education and remote learning. However, Gates is best known for one thing in education, and that's charter schools. Gates is one of the most important driving forces leading the assault on the American public education system through the promotion of charter schools. Charter schools effectively privatize the public school system, where the public continues to foot the bill for the school, but has no influence or say in how it's run. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. A University of Pittsburgh researcher working on a coronavirus project was fatally shot on Saturday at his home in Ross Township, while associate 46-year-old Hal Gu was found dead in a car approximately 100 yards away of what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot. The researcher, 37-year-old Bing Liu, was found shot multiple times in the head, neck, and torso around noon on Saturday. The Free Thought Project reports nothing was stolen from the townhouse and there was no forced entry. He worked in the college's Department of Computational and Systems Biology at the Pitt School of Medicine. The Post-Gazette reports police believe that Mr. Liu was shot by another man, identified by the Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office as Hal Gu of Pittsburgh. A GoFundMe account set up for a Texas salon owner who was sentenced to 7 days in jail for flouting Governor Greg Abbott's stay-at-home rules has raised over $265,000 as of Wednesday. Shelley Luther, owner of Salon a la Mode, was found to be in criminal and civil contempt by the judge of the 14th Civil District Court in Dallas County, who also slapped her with a $7,000 fine after she continued to operate in violation of the statewide order and a restraining order from the court. The 46-year-old Luther received a cease and desist letter ordering her to close the salon. Instead, she made a public display of ripping it up, which gained the attention among supporters, several of whom were at court. The judge chastised Luther, saying she acted selfishly when she resumed operations, and called on her to apologize to elected officials, whose orders she disobeyed. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
A fully leveled up video game character marvels at how far he's come, and the milk rushing through a jug handle is having the time of its life. This is the Onion Week in Review. This week, top executives from the U.S. financial sector announced they're about ready to ruin the world again. Representatives from all major banking and investment institutions said that more than enough time has passed since they last caused a major global economic meltdown, and confirmed they're pretty much fully prepared to bring about a brand new worldwide financial crisis.
We feel like we've given people enough time to get comfortable again. Consumer spending has increased. Housing market has rebounded. So yeah, we're all set to go ahead and ruin the global economy again.
And in other news, the perfect gift for a local man is unfortunately a gift certificate to Lowe's Cinemas. Mall shoppers look on in awe as a helpless 15-year-old girl is viciously torn apart by a pack of her peers. And a drunk pilot decides to pull over onto a cloud until he sobers up. You will now hear 3 gong strikes and a recitation of the great chant before being ushered to the hallowed garden. For more, keep checking theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Vincent.
And we're talking about Project Veritas and the journalistic tendency out there, whether right or wrong, to attempt to stage events in order to make a news story.
Well, I wouldn't even say to make a news story. I would say just to prove a certain point, right? I mean, they have a story regardless, right? And in this case, if they were honest, and if CBS denies the allegations here, obviously, I mean, people always say like, oh, it's not true, they're denying it. Okay, well, what? Do you think this any organizations that's being accused of doing something bad is going to say, yeah, oh, shucks, you caught us. We would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids. No, of course they're going to deny it. But
well, I'm sure you've seen the CNN one back when whatever place in Michigan that was where the kid, not Trayvon Martin, some other black kid got unjustly shot by police. And the kid's sister appeared to be saying that, we have to be peaceful and all of that.
Oh, yeah. That was it Brown, I think? It was...
I don't know,
There's been so many in this country. We lose track.
And then her actual video was leaked, and it turned out that, she was saying things like, we need to go into their white suburbs and burn them down. And CNN had just edited her video saying, no, well, we did it for time or whatever. They released that statement through one of their one journalists that no one was following, had like 70-something followers, and never admitted to any sort of wrongdoing when they completely inverted this girl's message.
Yeah, I never heard of that one. I'm glad you brought it up. But in this case, it would have been a story if there was no one there, right? They'd say, hey, we're hearing about all of these people dying, and yet there's no one here. But in this case, they wanted to, or my suspicion is, right, because obviously this isn't 100% proven, and I want to be fair, unlike these people. My suspicion is they want to push a narrative, right? So like, oh no, not enough people are here. We gotta get this message across, and so that's what the insider.
My experience with journalists tells me that's exactly what they would have done and exactly why they would have done it.
Well, I guess, journalism is dead at this point just because, there's very little difference between a propagandist and someone who calls himself a journalist at this point. It used to be good, but... quote, our insider witnessed the whole thing and came to Project Veritas because he knew we would protect him, said James O'Keefe, founder and CEO of Project Veritas. The insider told us that medical personnel were taken away from treating patients and making the line longer for actual patients wait for the COVID-19 test, he said. In an interview with The Insider, O'Keefe asked The Insider, quote, "You're telling me that 100% certain that CBS News Corporation National, staged a fake event. They faked the news, they faked a reality, and broadcasted that to all of our audience last night on CBS This Morning."
Good God, yes, they do it all the time. They don't think anything about it.
Well, but in this case,
like the BBC journalist who was like, "Hey, can you attempt to get one of these people to honk their horns?"
But that's always behind the scenes. In this case, at least the reason why O'Keefe is, making a big deal out of it is because they've been caught. I wouldn't say red-handed because there's no like smoking gun, just because it's a he said she said sort of thing. But in this case, they do have undercover video, and they do have undercover video. So the Insider replied 100%. Nick Ross, a corporate cleaning site supervisor at Cherry Health facility, said he was there when the CBS News crew arrived and set the video shoot at the COVID-19 testing site in the parking lot. Quote, "Apparently, the news crew wanted more people in line because they knew it was scheduled." Mariah Hernandez Vasquez, a professional registration specialist, told The Insider that Cherry Health Director of Quality and Informatics, Glenda Walker, helped to organize the facility's workers into the COVID-19 testing line. Quote, "It's just annoying because we could have done other stuff," said one registered nurse there, recorded with a hidden camera by a Project Veritas insider. The nurse said personnel at the medical center were given the heads up to expect the CBS News crew. Quote, "We knew they were coming. We had no clue that we were going to have to, do fake patients." Another registered nurse, Alice...
their own staff were these fake patients.
Or at least at least some of the some of the non-nurses there, but anyone who I guess was
anyone
that's
employed by the hospital. Like, hey, we're going to pull you off. Go get in your car. Go wait in line so this looks more serious than it really is. And people wonder why we have a hard time trusting the media over this pandemic.
Oh, absolutely. And they didn't even, and this whole thing was just for show. They didn't even test these people for the heck of it, right? So the nurse continues saying that the people who were working at the drive-thru did not administer the actual swab swipe as CBS News was filming, but the actual patients were made to wait longer because of a manufactured line. Quote, "We pretended there were a couple of real patients, which made it worse." We pretended, there were a couple of real patients, which made it worse. The footage was used to accompany CBS News reporter Adriana Diaz's narration and interview with Tasha Blackmon, the president and CEO of Cherry Health. In the CBS News report, Blackmon told her facility needed gowns and N95 masks, which filter incoming breath to protect the medical professional. Cherry Health president CEO Tasha Blackmon told Project Veritas in a phone conversation. I got to give it to Veritas for they don't just say, "Oh, here we go, here it is." They've been exposed. They actually
don't Alex Jones it, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, they do get statements from the people, and in this case, I got to give respect for CBS News and Cherry Health president for actually responding. So the CEO of the clinic said, "We and CBS News had nothing to do with that line." So obviously, they're denying it, but CBS News in turn is pointing the finger at them, and they just totally took down the entire segment. They took it off the internet.
CBS did?
Yes.
Okay.
And they did have a statement.
Yeah, because
from it.
That's something they would do if they were innocent, right?
Oh yeah, it's just totally scrub the entire thing. Yeah, that's not guilt.
We spent this money on this news story, but no, it's fine.
Oh, I mean that's the thing. Also, they aired it on TV anyways, so I mean, just it works out for them by taking it off their YouTube or whatever video hosting platform they had it. Because unless you had, I guess DVR, I was gonna say unless you were recording it with VHS, but I guess that's like 20 years out of date. Unless you were DVRing the news for whatever reason, then it's totally gone down the memory hole.
Well, I would hope that some people have the video from CBS, saved from YouTube or whatever, to run alongside the Project Veritas video.
This is breaking like 10 minutes before I came over here. I saw this. So unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to see it. There is a video. So projectveritas.com. If anyone doesn't believe us. CBS does have a so they actually did respond. They have a statement, right? So they made a statement.
They said we did not do this, and then they pulled down the video.
Well, they got more defensive than bad. They said they did not stage anything at Cherry Health facility. Any suggestion to the contrary is 100% false. These allegations are alarming. We've reached out to Cherry Health to address them immediately. Okay, well, why address Cherry Health? Why not just, I mean, if this is fake, why not just, tell Project Veritas to screw off? So we reached out to Cherry Health to address them immediately. They informed us for the first time that one of their chief officers told at least one staffer to get in the testing line along with real patients. No one from CBS News had any knowledge of this before tonight. They also said,
who are they throwing under the bus here?
So they're throwing the Cherry Health under the bus by claiming that they told one of their. So they said it's 100% false, but then they say, okay, one person might have been in the line to stage it, but it wasn't from us.
And it was Cherry Health who told their own employees to go get in the line to make it look worse?
That's what CBS is claiming. Right. They also said that their actions did not prevent any actual patients from being tested. We take the accuracy of our reporting very seriously, and we are removing the Cherry Health portion from the piece. CBS This Morning executive producer Diana Miller gave an interview to her parent company's website, Viacom.com. So, like, ABC News is owned by Disney, CBS is owned by Viacom, where she said the morning TV news show was making its coverage of the COVID-19 pandemic a priority. And whenever you put something else above the truth in regards to a priority when doing journalism, you're always going to get lies, you're always going to get BS, and it's always going to end up being propaganda. So really, I mean, whether or not it's CBS's fault or not, it doesn't matter, because they brought it on themselves by making making COVID-19 a priority instead of the truth.
It's not surprising. I mean, they want the fear, because the media loves fear. It's a moneymaker for them.
Oh, yeah, if it bleeds,
eyeballs.
it leads.
Yeah, it gets more clicks, all of that stuff. So, yeah, whatever they have to do to drum up the fear, 855-450-3733, or you can use the Discord call-in lines if you want clearer quality. You can find those at discord.freetalklive.com, because this is Free Talk Live.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556, or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces, even within an IRA. 800-525-9556, ICAGoldSilver.com.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at mark@freetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. mark@freetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, mark@freetalklive.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And it's Vincent.
And the next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says you'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. But there's no need to wait. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered masternodes, which allow anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. When the new wallet launches, because of Divvy's relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at divvyproject.org. That's diviproject.org. Now, before we get back into just the Project Veritas story and the problems of journalism in general, let's go to the phones. We've got Scott calling from Florida. Scott, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yes, good evening, Aria and Vincent. I hope you're all right.
I'm great. What's on your mind?
I'd like to discuss the Federal Reserve. Let me back up for 1 second. We're in a depression right now. Let's be clear about that. Not a recession, as people say. We're in a depression. And this second Great Depression, if you will, has far surpassed the Great Depression of the 1930s.
How so?
Proof do I have it? What's that?
How so? I mean, the Depression of the
over 30 million Americans are unemployed.
Yeah, but that's only 10%. The Great Depression saw an unemployment rate of like 25%, wasn't it?
But there were a lot less people back then. And it took a few years to reach that level. 25% in the 1930s. It's taken just a few mere weeks to reach over 30 million Americans. And it's growing. And the $1,200 they gave the American people a chump change, while Trump has given trillions to Wall Street and big business. The American people get the crumbs. I want to talk about the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is not federal. It's not national. It's a privately owned bank. It was created in 1913 by Paul Warburg and some other bankers. It's primarily a
J.P. Morgan, too.
J.P. Morgan, yes. It's a Jewish institution, and the reason why I say Jewish is because that's precisely what it is. If you don't believe me, let's look at some of the names here. Janet Yellen, Alan Greenspan, Ben Bernanke, Hank Paulson, Steve Mnuchin, our Treasury Secretary, George Soros, Soros, by the way, is an international Jewish communist and an international Jewish
Well,
capitalist.
what does Soros have to do with the Federal Reserve? I mean, like if you said something like Wilbur Ross, who's a Commerce Secretary, who Wilbur Ross worked for the Rothschild Bank, and he bailed out Trump. Or while Wilbur Ross was working for the Rothschilds, they bailed out Trump in the '90s. Now he's a Commerce Secretary. But you're sort of just I don't know, like muddying the waters by bringing up Soros, who has nothing to do with the Federal Reserve.
The Rothschilds, listen, the Federal Reserve's printing up trillions of dollars worth of worthless money. There's nothing behind it. We need to go back on a gold standard, which this country is going to have to accept. It's going to be forced to when it's.
I don't think a gold standard is even going to be workable. Why not just use gold currency? Instead of having something that's backed by gold, have something that is gold.
Don't the Jews also control all the gold too? So, I mean, aren't you sort of shooting yourself in the foot there, Scott?
Well, it's funny that you say that, because in the protocols of the learned elders of Zion, which the Jews claim is a forgery but is indeed authentic, it does say that the Jews control all the world's gold, and they most certainly do. When you look at
then why would you want to use a gold standard, Scott?
I want to use the gold standard because I don't know about you. I don't want to use worthless toilet paper.
Okay, so let's just be clear. Assuming all that you say is true, you want the Jews to control your money.
Unfortunately, can I be honest with you? No matter how you slice it, at the end of the day, the Jews are going to control the money supply no matter how you slice it.
Are you a Jewish supremacist?
No one controls Bitcoin.
Are you a Jewish supremacist, right? You're implying that they're able to control everything and stuff, and all of us are a bunch of chumps. So are you a Jew? Are you committing anti-Semitism, right? You're a Jewish supremacist.
That's what Kevin is.
Yes, I'm an anti-Semite, but I'm honest about it.
Okay, but the question here, Scott, is the Jews, according to you, control all the gold, right?
That's right.
Okay, and you want a currency that is backed by the gold that is controlled by the Jews.
It's the only thing that's going to have value. It's a catch-22. Otherwise,
so are the Jews saving the world by providing us with a currency of value?
No, I'm glad you mentioned that. The Jews have enslaved the world. Since we're at it, let's talk about they control the media. Bloomberg, you say that I'm muddying the waters. Let's look at Michael Bloomberg. He owns Bloomberg News. Let's look at the New York Times, owned by the Sulzberger family. They're Jews. Let's look at Hollywood.
Well, if I was Carlos Slim, who had like a majority stake and he was Mexican, who has a majority stake in the New York Times.
Why would I care about the ethnicity of the people who own the New York Times, Scott? Explain to me why I should care about this.
I'll tell you why. Because they have the Jews have a stranglehold on our media. They spoon feed the American people with lies, dumb them down.
That's so weird. The Jews have never cut me a paycheck for Free Talk Live. Who do I need to see about this?
Well, they cut Ian the paycheck, and you're just you're the dupe.
Okay.
You're the shadow.
All of us are the dupes, sir. All of us are the dupes. You know, Henry Ford, a century ago, when he printed "God Bless His Soul."
Now, what if the Jews aren't paying my paycheck?
If they're not paying your paycheck,
yeah.
Then
Free Talk Live is a media organization, and you're out there saying the Jews control the media. Well, we are the media.
I understand that, but I'm not saying they control every iota, but they control.
Do they control Alex Jones?
I don't know who
well,
owns,
yes.
I don't know who owns
maybe.
Free Talk Live. I don't know who owns GNC. I'm not an expert on that. But if their name is Goldstein or Shapiro or Rosenberg, they're Jews. Yeah, that own it.
Okay, so explain to me what the problem is with this. Why does it matter?
The problem it matters is because international Jewry gets a stranglehold on everything, from the media to our financial system to our American Israel Public Affairs Committee, where American soldiers have died fighting for Israel, getting blown up.
So what do you think about Bitcoin, Scott?
I don't like it. I purchase gold, plain old-fashioned gold American.
Are you Jewish?
Giving the Jews money.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Yes, I am Jewish. I was born Jewish. I'm a self-hating Jew. And you may say, why am I saying all this?
So much.
Because I hate what my race, and by the way, the Jews are not a religion, they're a race. I hate what my race has done to the world. It's enslaved the world. It's done so much harm between inventing communism. Yes, the Jews invented communism. Karl Marx was Jewish, to international Jewish capitalism.
So hold on now, Scott, if you're claiming to be Jewish, how do we know that you're not just calling in to make the anti-Jewish point look absolutely ridiculous, right? That you're a triple agent.
No. I wouldn't. I am Jewish. I didn't even have to say that. So the reason why I am saying this is for one reason. If I was a Gentile, your call is to call in and say, that guy's an anti-Semite, he's a Jew hater. I'd like the Jews to call in your program, and how can they call me an anti-Semite when I'm Jewish? It's
Scott,
ludicrous.
thank you so much for the call. That's not ludicrous. I know plenty of white millennials who hate white people.
And Semite is a language, right? Or Semite languages. So if you're an Israeli Jew who hates Palestinians, then technically they're an anti-Semite.
Excellent point. I know plenty of men who do nothing but trash talk men as though they're not part of that group. So, I mean, it's not impossible to be Jewish and a bigot of the anti-Semitism variety. 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
When I adopted her, she was a mess. Scabs, itching, licking, missing fur, hot spots, a thin, dull coat. So I take the dog to the vet for the standard run-of-the-mill tests and treatments. No results. I hear your advertisement on the radio. DINOVITE.com. So I get the 5-pound box of Dinovite and the Lico chops within a 4-week total. Instead of a German Setter, I have a German Shepherd. Sheba is 105 lean pounds of shiny, smooth, happy dog for life because she gets fed Dinovite. And the results, they're just incredibly outstanding. And she loves it. When you rescue a dog, you have to do the right thing. You've got to feed him right for life. Do the Dinovite. Dinovite for life.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
Because we are smothering in spam, please do not reply to all when you can instead reply. I was recently among over 100 invited to a corporate reunion. It's always a warm affair, and that's the problem. Enthusiasm for our upcoming get-together caused many recipients to RSVP the organizer with a cheery reply to all. I can't wait. Then others piled on with a reply to all to that. Then the "I'm out of my office now" autoresponders joined in. So I replied to all, asking that we all reply only to the organizer. Hey, at least I tried. One invitee, apparently retired, shot back, "Point taken, but I really like seeing the responses since they're so positive." Smiley face. This better be an open bar. From survivalspeech.com, I'm Holland Cook.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com. What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
Free Talk Live.
The idea that politicians are leaders. Check your premises on that one.
Cutting proof.
Really? Would you really follow Barack Obama or George Bush? Would you really follow their every command? Would you follow their suggestions? Do you believe that politicians are somehow more knowledgeable than you are? That politicians are of a special group of people? They're a special little critter that for some reason is more enlightened or educated? Constantly you can hear talking heads refer to the authorities or our leaders in Washington, and it's just patently absurd. I mean, these people are failures at life. That's why they became politicians.
Right. There's so many of them are attorneys.
The good attorneys make a
money.
whole bunch of money and retire with yachts. The unsuccessful ones go into politics.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's Aria.
It is Vincent.
And I suppose people out there probably remember the UK doctor who projected something, I think you said more than 500,000 deaths if the United Kingdom did not lock down or some kind of nonsense. And then he revised it to a significantly lower number. This doctor is in the news again, this time in a series of bad decisions that one can only marvel at.
Oh, yes. This is from FoxNews.com. UK scientist who pushed coronavirus restrictions resigns after reportedly meeting married lover. This is very recent. A British scientist who worked with the government on its coronavirus response resigned from his advisory role Tuesday after a media report said he defied lockdown measures by letting a woman visit him on 2 occasions. Neil Ferguson, a professor at Imperial College in London, stepped down from the Scientific Advisory Group for Emergencies, which is SAGE, the body that advises a government in emergencies. He led an academic team at the university that produced a model forecasting the spread of COVID-19 and predicted as many as 500,000 deaths if the government failed to take action.
You know what I'm suddenly reminded of? I'm sure you've heard the story. The British, or the United Kingdom, I guess he was a British guy, who was paid by a Muslim nation to look through the Quran for codes and clues and things like that as proof of the Quran's divinity. And he did it. He wrote this book about it, but he never converted to Islam himself, right? He was just paid to do this thing, and he did it. And he professed it to be truth. And that sounds like exactly the same thing that this doctor has done, getting paid probably by the state of the United Kingdom to do this thing, but he's not actually converting to coronavirus fear himself. He's just trying to get everyone else to believe it.
That's a very good point. Yeah, it's like mercenary, right? These are mercenaries wearing lab coats. People like Fauci, right here in the United States. I guess Fauci is this guy's counterpart in the U.S. And I mean, Fauci just in January said, "Oh, it's not that big of a deal." You don't see him wearing a mask in public. So yeah, these people are just mercenaries. Ferguson told the projections prompted officials to impose unprecedented social distancing measures. Ferguson told The Telegraph that he, quote, made an error in judgment when he let the 38-year-old woman visit him twice at his London home amid a government-mandated lockdown, once on March 30th and once on April 8th.
Now, just for the sake of curiosity, how old is he?
Oh, that's a good question. I didn't think to look that up. Neil Ferguson, he doesn't look too old. I mean, I certainly hope he's not any younger than her. Otherwise, then he's probably kicking himself. He is 52 years old. All right.
Okay.
So
see, I would have expected him to be like 60, 62, that age.
Oh, I see. Well, in the 50s, you're not necessarily. Once you get into the 60s, that's when you're in risk of coronavirus. But nah, he's 52. Looks like he obviously dyes his hair.
I was thinking about the optics of him courting a younger woman.
Oh yeah, let's see, 12. About 12 years his junior.
Which isn't that big of a deal in that particular age range, 38 to 52 or whatever it was that you said.
Well, I mean, also the fact that she's married and has children, I'd say
that's a bigger thing.
Yeah. So
to each their own. Maybe her husband knew about it and was okay with it.
Well, that's
not my place
her,
to judge.
That's her claim, but the guy's a cuck, and it's an open house, right? It's open house, and I think she gets into that. So the measure allows residents to only leave their homes for food, exercise, medical appointments.
Well, this was exercise.
It is adultery exercise. Yeah, I suppose it is.
It is a physical and can be quite strenuous activity. Yes, it is definitely exercise.
So he says, quote, I accept I made an error of judgment and took the wrong course of action, Ferguson said. So you're defending it better than he is, right? He knows he has no excuse. I have, it would have been pretty funny if he said, hey, oi, this is exercise.
Bill Clinton it, man. That's all you got to do. Like, this was absolutely exercise. And the only person who would disagree is like a virgin. Anyone who has ever had sex will agree that you can be winded after this, man.
I have therefore stepped back from my involvement in Sage. I acted in a belief that I was immune, have tested positive for, so he had tested positive for coronavirus, and he did this anyways, and completely isolated myself for almost 2 weeks after developing symptoms, he added. Messages to Ferguson from Fox News were not returned. The woman lives with her husband and children in another home, the newspaper reported. Just imagine being this guy, how embarrassing this must be. You know, your wife sleeping around is now like international news. Friends of a woman told the paper.
That part does have to suck. Even if he's aware of it, that part has to suck.
Oh, yeah. Friends of a woman told the paper that she considered her household and Ferguson's residence to be one. The UK...
Oh, it's
an open... Yeah, so
okay,
it's poly...
it's that...
Yeah.
Deep. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess polyamory is not just here in the Shire. It's also the guy's getting cucked. The UK recorded 196,200.
Well, there's a difference between cucking and polyamory.
It's a difference in perspective. I see little, but I mean, you know, I understand people who would want to do it. I see very little difference in it. But I understand the point. I understand people's point. You know, teach their own. I certainly wouldn't do it. Including 29,502 deaths as of Tuesday, according to the Johns Hopkins University. Ferguson tested positive for the virus in March, according to a tweet in which he said he developed a slight dry but persistent cough, and he had this woman come over to his house twice anyway. So, I mean, at least there's some sort of repercussions for it, right? This is the medical tyrant who says that the UK has to totally shut down its entire economy and shut down the country, and he gets caught. He gets fired, or not fired, but he steps down. Either he was forced down, which is, you know, good on the Sage for doing it, or he stepped down, which is, you know, good for him for at least, you know, falling on your sword and admitting you're wrong. Compared to, you have all these politicians and news people like Chris Cuomo, Bill de Blasio, Lori Lightfoot, the gray alien hybrid mayor of Chicago. I think she's of Chicago. All these people who are saying, oh, you have to stay inside, you're going to get arrested, you're a bad person, you have to stay inside. All of them have been caught going outside, violating social distancing. And
Didn't one of them get a haircut?
Yeah, Lori Lightfoot. She got a haircut. The mayor, I think she's the mayor of Chicago, so she got a haircut, and then she had a press conference where she admitted it, and she said, "Look, I'm paraphrasing here. She's like, look, you know, I'm the public face of this city. I gotta be on TV. I gotta have my haircut." And so just totally unapologetic. And this is what gives me hope. I think that even people who totally buy into this, who like, you know, quarantine shame people who wear the stupid mask in public, they're catching on to this. And a lot of these videos where these public officials get caught they're caught and chastised by people who believe in this. So that's why I have hope that people are going to stop believing in this hoax, because they see the people who are promoting it are also flaunting it. And when they're called out, at least in the United States, they don't care.
What I want to see is this doctor or the woman make the argument that this was exercise.
Maybe he has somewhat more shame than one would think. I mean, that would have been funny, but it's exercise. Yeah, no, I don't think that would fly, even in the UK.
I would like to see if the United States or New Hampshire were going to go that far. I would absolutely do that. Get busted traveling somewhere for sex, and then make the it's exercise argument. What could they do?
Well, arrest you. I mean, they don't care, right? Rules are just things written on a piece of paper. Or, excuse me, laws are just things written on a piece of paper.
The legal battle there, though, would be fun, for sure.
Oh, yeah, that would get so much attention. But, I mean,
the best example of the politicians doing it was when they were signing, in some states, these social distancing orders. There's like 9 of them crowded around this table.
Oh, yeah. Or Trump and Fauci and Scarf Lady, you know, they would all shake hands during the conferences and stuff. You know, or was it Mike Pence, right? He walked into the Mayo Clinic not wearing a mask and, like, surrounded everyone else is wearing a mask, and, you know, he had to apologize for it. But, I mean, I think they know this is ridiculous. They're probably all laughing at us.
Apparently today, Trump went to a factory that is producing these masks and did not wear a mask.
Oh, yeah, he refuses. He said he'd rather take hydroxychloroquine to cure himself but not wear a mask.
Well, I can understand his point to a degree. Not the hydroxychloroquine one, but I don't want to wear a mask either. So I can't blame him for that. Plus, they don't seem to, I'm not aware of any medical research that actually has said that, hey, these are actually effective. You should wear these. 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
You know what's really smart?
Wash your hands frequently, practice social distancing, and stay home if told to do so.
You know what's really dumb?
To ignore your immune system.
Right now, more than ever, your health depends on a strong immune system.
The experts at Immunocorp will give you their 7-step guide to immunity for life, free.
Why? Because we want you to be smart and healthy.
Simply call 800-446-3063 or click immunityforlife.com.
Immunocorp has been producing the world's leading immune system products for more than 2 decades.
To get your free 7-step guide to immunity for life, call 800-446-3063. 800-446-3063.
Be smart. Don't ignore your immune system. Your life depends on it.
Call 800-446-3063 or click immunityforlife.com. Immunityforlife.com.
Oh, so you're wearing a mask every day now? Where are you getting them?
The same website where I get my neck and body wraps, sunnybay.com. And they're handmade.
Really?
Just like their wraps in the USA.
Oh, and good quality?
Oh, very good. These are disposable face masks.
And good price?
That's the best part. I get a 10-pack for only $6.
Wow.
Yes, as a public service, we're now sourcing disposable face masks with level 1 protection at sunnybay.com. Get a 10-pack of high-quality, more breathable face masks, only $6. Our face masks are hypoallergenic, latex-free, and made for stress-free all-day wearing. Or choose our N95 respirator masks 2-pack for only $6. Supplies are limited, so place your order at sunny-bay.com, a Biomed DB design company right here in the USA. Go to sunny-bay.com and purchase your disposable face masks online. 10 masks for only $6. Just click sunny-bay.com. That's sunny-bay.com.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it! You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And it's Vincent.
And we've got a pressing question here. Why are Russian coronavirus doctors mysteriously falling out of windows? The actual headline there is, it tells you everything you need to know. I mean, these are Russian coronavirus doctors, and falling out of windows is not a particularly common form of death, I wouldn't think, at least not by accident. So 3 Russian doctors coming to us from Vox, working to treat coronavirus patients, have mysteriously fallen out of windows in recent weeks, underscoring the country's struggling healthcare system and leading to suspicions of foul play. On April the 24th, and I'm not going to even attempt it with most of these names, these very long Russian names, Natalia, the chief of emergency medical services at a training base for Russian astronauts, fell out of a window at the hospital where she was being treated for a COVID-19 infection and died. Yelena, the top doctor at a hospital in Siberia, fell out of a window during a conference call at her hospital and died on May the 1st after a week in intensive care. The next day, ambulance doctor Alexander fell from a second-floor window at the hospital where he worked and had been receiving treatment for COVID-19. He remains in serious condition with a fractured skull. So at least 2 out of 3 of these people listed here had COVID-19. Russian authorities are investigating all 3 incidents, and there is no official indication yet of what happened to the physicians, other than, I guess, the fact that they fell out of windows. The circumstances around their falls, though, are more than a little suspicious. For example, let me go back up here to get her first name. Yelena was on a conference call with a top Russian official about plans for turning one of the buildings at her medical facility into a coronavirus treatment ward. She disagreed with the idea, and she fell out of the window during the call, according to local media. And that just sounds like so BS, man.
Yeah, well, like for me, it's like during the call. So, I mean, that seems like if, let's say, this was an orchestrated event, that'd be very, very suspicious. So it's like, unless they're that brazen about it, knowing that whoever did it's not going to get caught. I don't know. I mean, it's like, I guess like audacious is a word that comes to mind.
Shulapov had, along with a colleague, posted a video online on April the 22nd, the day he was admitted for coronavirus care, complaining that he had been forced to work despite contracting the disease. 5 days later, he retracted his comments, saying he had spoken in an emotional state. Less than a week later, he fell out of a window. It just seems like something that you would hear out of... It's just...
Well, it's like 1984, where you have like these. I think there's a chapter in the book where there's like these former party leaders, right? They fallen out of grace, then they all were forced to give fake confessions, and then a week later they all died.
Wasn't there a similar story of a woman who said on WeChat during the height of this in China that, the hospitals were not being properly run, everything was bad, and then a week later, she comes on and says, "Oh, no, none of that was true. I retract all of that. Oh, I love my government."
I don't know about a woman. I know this one journalist, he was arrested and thrown in jail, and then and he just totally disappeared. And then a few weeks later, he comes out of jail, and he's praising the police for how they treated him at jail.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of then.
Yeah, that's what I know that took place in China, where suddenly, I mean, it's interesting how getting arrested could change your perspective on everything.
The circumstances around, why didn't it just stick to their easily pronounceable first names? Natalia's fall at the Russian astronaut training center are less clear, with the hospital where she died released a statement saying that she died tragically in an accident, with no additional details provided. Now, this is the Russian government, the Russian media. They can generally control whatever it is that they want their people to hear in the same way that the Chinese government can. The Chinese government's probably just better at it. So what's going on here? Is it possible that this is all an unfortunate coincidence? Are Russian medical facilities cracking under the strain of the coronavirus, struggling to keep people safe? That doesn't even seem like an applicable question Because if that was the case, then, people would be getting lined up in beds in the middle of hallways, and the virus would be jumping from one room to the next. But people falling out of windows is distinctly different from an overworked medical staff.
Well,
I mean, the prisons are understaffed, and we don't have people falling out of prison windows.
Well, the like I remember in China, it showed footage of like nurses like crying and banging their heads against like walls and the floor because they were so overworked. So I guess I don't know, maybe the stress just got to this person, and right in the middle of a Zoom call, she decided to jump out the window. I mean, I hate Zoom too, so I mean, I don't blame her.
Right after she told them, "No, I don't like this plan." Oh, look at that window's open. Oh no, I fell. Nobody yet knows for sure, but it's worth looking into what we do know about each incident and the theories surrounding them. The amount of available details on each case varies widely, but what's available at least allows for some idea of what happened. Not much has yet come out on Lebedeva, the 48-year-old who led the emergency. This article is just going to force me to attempt to pronounce these long Russian names, and I'm not happy about that. After she contracted the coronavirus, she was hospitalized at the Federal Scientific Clinical Center in Moscow on April the 20th. 4 days later, she fell out of a 6th floor window and died instantly. The hospital labeled her plunge an accident in a statement. Well, yes, for sure. Also offering some kind words about her time leading the medical team, blah, blah, blah. She was a professional in her field. Great. More is known about what happened in the case of Nepo, the 47-year-old who ran the Regional Hospital for War Veterans. During an April conference call with Boris Nemec, she pushed back on demands for her to make 80 beds in a part of her hospital available to treat coronavirus patients. Reportedly, her biggest concern was that her staff didn't have enough personal protective equipment to treat coronavirus patients. The local Ministry of Health denied that her 50-foot fall from her office window had anything to do with the conference call. And Alexei, God, these names, man. The deputy head of the region's government offered some alternative explanations for her plunge. So many things could have happened, he told reporters. It could have been because it was spring, the overall stress, something in her family. It's difficult to say what could have happened. There was nothing extraordinary happening at the time, just a routine conference call with doctors' reports, where the top health officials made a request of her, and she said, "I don't want to do that." And then she fell out of a window during the call. How stupid do they think we are, man? I'm not dumb enough to buy that. I'm not speculating here. I don't know that, they had whatever the new KGB is sitting in her office waiting to push her out of a window, but it doesn't seem likely that in the middle of a conference call, she just falls out of a window.
Well, I mean, maybe we're not stupid enough to believe that, but in Russia, mind you, the Soviet Union only collapsed around 30 years ago. So I'm sure, and plenty of people who are alive today still remember it. So I'm sure at this point, it's like, people could read between the lines, but for their own good, they just accept it because, I mean, despite a lot of the shills in this country now in the alternative media, the Russians are not good guys. I mean, there's an argument to be had, but the Soviet Union collapsed on purpose just so that it could restructure itself. It was the KGB orchestrated its collapse. Vladimir Putin, who's essentially the strongman dictator of Russia, was part of the KGB. He was part of the intelligence apparatus. So, I mean, just because Russia, the Soviet Union collapsed and the new country, the Russian Federation, came out doesn't necessarily mean that's
this theory that the collapse was orchestrated by the KGB.
Or internal port. I don't know if it's specifically the KGB, but there's internal groups inside the inside the party apparatus. They orchestrated the collapse, and there was a defector, a high-level defector during the Cold War who came to the U.S. and was his name escapes me right now, but was claiming that was what's going to happen, and then the FBI head. Or not the, or one of the big counterintelligence people at the time in the United States was saying that, that's ridiculous, it's not going to happen, and then also insisted that there was a mole within the United States, and it turns out that there's evidence that the counterintelligence head, the American counterintelligence head, was the mole all along, and the reason why he discredited that Russian defector was because in fact that was the plan. I mean, now we're getting into some Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy stuff.
Sure.
But
I mean, it's similar to the idea that the United States military would orchestrate a global pandemic in order to execute a military coup and take control of the United States. It's similar to that kind of conspiracy theory, right?
I'd say there's more evidence backing the Russian thing than the U.S. I haven't heard about the U.S. military doing this yet.
I've always found conspiracy theories interesting, man, because it's hard to get out of those rabbit holes, though. This is Free Talk Live.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more, and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,692, silver at $14.96, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,252. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/freekratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, taking time off from mismanaging a pandemic and turning life-saving masks sent from all over the country into an art installation, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo declared Tuesday that he would use the deadly COVID-19 virus as an opportunity to revolutionize the state school system, inviting Microsoft founder Bill Gates to implement his controversial ideas about education statewide. Mint Press News reports Cuomo did not divulge many details of what his imagined education revolution would look like, but did mention virtual education and remote learning. However, Gates is best known for one thing in education, and that's charter schools. Gates is one of the most important driving forces leading the assault on the American public education system through the promotion of charter schools. Charter schools effectively privatize the public school system, where the public continues to foot the bill for the school, but has no influence or say in how it's run. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. A University of Pittsburgh researcher working on a coronavirus project was fatally shot on Saturday at his home in Ross Township, while associate 46-year-old Hal Gu was found dead in a car approximately 100 yards away of what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot. The researcher, 37-year-old Bing Liu, was found shot multiple times in the head, neck, and torso around noon on Saturday. The Free Thought Project reports nothing was stolen from the townhouse and there was no forced entry. He worked in the college's Department of Computational and Systems Biology at the Pitt School of Medicine. The Post-Gazette reports police believe that Mr. Liu was shot by another man, identified by the Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office as Hal Gu of Pittsburgh. A GoFundMe account set up for a Texas salon owner who was sentenced to 7 days in jail for flouting Governor Greg Abbott's stay-at-home rules has raised over $265,000 as of Wednesday. Shelley Luther, owner of Salon a la Mode, was found to be in criminal and civil contempt by the judge of the 14th Civil District Court in Dallas County, who also slapped her with a $7,000 fine after she continued to operate in violation of the statewide order and a restraining order from the court. The 46-year-old Luther received a cease and desist letter ordering her to close the salon. Instead, she made a public display of ripping it up, which gained the attention among supporters, several of whom were at court. The judge chastised Luther, saying she acted selfishly when she resumed operations, and called on her to apologize to elected officials whose orders she disobeyed. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
It's the Onion Radio News. God loses his decision-making coin. This is Doyle Redland reporting. The Lord God has confirmed that he has misplaced his special decision-making coin. The coin, a relatively unremarkable 1972 nickel, has been used almost daily by the Supreme Being for over 4 billion years for the purpose of determining everything from the direction of the wind to the outcome of history. The visibly distraught God added,
I have no idea where I put it. I remember flipping it last night for a couple in Monroe, Michigan, who were trying to conceive a child, but I haven't seen it since.
God also said he hopes to locate the coin before 7:15 Thursday morning when United Flight 251 takes off from Seattle with actress Dixie Carter on board. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Vincent.
And, you know, it started out as a rumor that hospitals, one of those rumors that just kept circulating on social media that didn't really have any evidence behind it, that these hospitals were being paid more to write down on death reports that someone died of COVID-19. This was inflating the numbers because they wanted that money. So if someone died of lung cancer and they happened to have COVID-19, it was written off as a COVID-19 death, not a lung cancer death.
Well, it's not even the fact that they had COVID-19. It could be that they had the COVID-19 antibodies from, any other number of coronaviruses that's not COVID-19.
Now, isn't the common cold a coronavirus?
Yeah, that's my understanding. I think SARS was a type of coronavirus. So, coronavirus is a whole family of viruses. And then, people start calling it coronavirus because the Wuhan Chinese flu was racist. And then now COVID-19. I will say, COVID-19 is way more specific, right? It's a specific virus they're talking about. So, yeah, this is from PolitiFact, right? Now, obviously, you're going to see on Snopes, and it's like, I think that more attention should be paid to fact-checking organizations like PolitiFact and Snopes than even just regular mainstream media articles or organizations themselves.
Can screw off as far as I'm concerned.
Oh yeah, it's run by
they are a leftist mouthpiece all the way.
Exactly, and they do something called equivocation, which isn't exactly lying. It's like equivocation is basically bending the truth, where I'd go through an entire Snopes article where it says, oh, this is BS on the meter, and then all you have to do is just read a few paragraphs into it where they use these wishy-washy words. So basically, like, yeah, well, we're classifying as being fake, but actually, when you look at it through this lens, it's true. I chose PolitiFact because they did a slightly better job at being credible, but they still have the spin, which we'll get into. So an article shared on Facebook questions whether the count of COVID-19 patients is inflated, saying hospitals have a financial incentive to claim that a patient has the virus. Quote, hospitals get paid more to list patients as COVID-19, 3 times as much if put on a ventilator, the story's headline states. The article was posted on WorldNet Daily, a conservative news website. It was okay, so when they say who did it.
What's interesting is that Snopes rates this whole idea as mixed, saying it is plausible that this is true.
Plausible. Well, PolitiFact says it's half true, and I could appreciate I could appreciate its reasoning for it. I mean, I'm not going to accuse them of being just as bad as Snopes, although they're saying half truths are full lies. But so the article.
I like that saying. I've never heard that before. It's apt.
So the federal government has decided to pay hospitals more for treating COVID-19 patients, but it isn't a windfall in the way the headline suggests. And there's no indication. So this is them put in my view, them putting their opinion into it. There's no indication that hospitals are over-identifying patients as having COVID-19. If anything, evidence suggests that the illness is being underdiagnosed. So first off, you're not going to, when they say that, they're like, oh, there's no indication. No hospital, morgue director or whatever, mortician or whatever is going to say we are. We're not going to straight out say we're fudging the numbers, right? And this is a problem with a lot of libertarians who are, I guess, hostile to, quote, conspiracy theories, because despite hating the government, being against the state, they wait for the government to outright say that they're doing something until they believe it. So they get into the nitty-gritty here. How Medicare pays
Isn't it
hospitals.
Curious? I mean, these same libertarians believed Snowden. As soon as he came out,
because he worked for the government.
Ah.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, just because someone has a white lab coat. So I don't know. Well, I think every host on FTL, we should come in with white lab coats and, a stethoscope and everything.
Dude, I'm down for this. I'll get one right now.
And just so people believe us now. So
that's brilliant. Let's do it.
Medicare pays for inpatient hospital stays during a diagnosis-related group, DRG payment system. The hospital assigns a code to a patient at the time of discharge based mainly on the patient's main diagnosis and treatment given. Medicare then pays the hospital a prescribed amount of money, regardless of what it actually costs the hospital to provide the care. Oh, which is, that's a great payment system there, regardless of the cost. The amount can vary in different parts of the country.
Well, that's probably good when a bag of saline from a hospital is like $900.
Oh, that is a good. Yeah, that is a good point. Or a Jello cup is like $20. The amount can vary in different parts of the country to account for labor costs and other factors. The dollar amounts Jensen cited, and so this is from the article I mentioned, are roughly what we found in an analysis published April 7th by the Kaiser Family Foundation. There isn't a Medicare diagnostic code specifically for COVID-19. Using payment rates for similar respiratory conditions, Kaiser estimated the average Medicare payment at $13,297 for a less severe hospitalization and $40,218 for hospitalizations in which a patient is treated with a ventilator for at least 96 hours. And so now you have Governor Cuomo of New York bitching and moaning, saying we don't have enough ventilators. So I wonder where he's getting, if he's getting money from a union or where his kickback is coming from for claiming that they need more ventilators, which apparently I hear some evidence to suggest that ventilators actually ruin people's lungs and that ventilators aren't the way to go. But
now what's really fascinating is that Snopes chooses to ignore every bit of that. And instead, they zero in on the concept of one-size-fits-all payments, saying that, it's not true that hospitals receive exactly $13,000 for every COVID-19 patient, when that's not what was said in the first place. It was, on average, this comes out to $13,200. And Snopes is like, well, no, they don't receive $13,000 for every single patient. Well, okay, that's fine. That's not what people were saying.
And that is why it is so evil and despicable, because they pull those little mind games, but the average person is so stupid they don't look past a headline. I've been guilty of this, and all they have to do is they see, oh, Snopes said this is BS or it's not true, so I'm going to believe it, and they don't even go through the nitty-gritty. So it's like, who is watching the Watchmen, right? Who is going to fact-check the fact-checkers?
It's obviously not true that Medicare is giving $13,000 even to every single hospital for every COVID-19 patient. That's absurd. Who would expect it not to be an average?
Yeah, pedantry. That's the term I was looking for. It's like the worst pedantry. So I just continue here because it gets even worse. Quote, a COVID patient on a ventilator will need more services and more complicated services, not just a ventilator, says some Poindexter. It is reasonable that a patient who is on a ventilator would cost 3 times as much as one who isn't that sick. Medicare will pay hospitals a 20% add-on to the regular DRG payment for COVID-19 patients. That's a result of the CARES Act, the largest of 3 federal stimulus laws enacted in response to the coronavirus, which was signed into law March 27th. There is no scandal, Antos said. The 20% was added by Congress because hospitals have lost revenue from routine care and elective surgeries that they can't provide during the crisis, and because the cost of providing even routine services to COVID patients has jumped.
So it was a bailout of the hospital industry.
Well, exactly, yeah. So, this gives them even more, because they're unable to do elective procedures, which makes them the most money. They're undermining their point. This gives them even more of an incentive to put people on, to count people as being a COVID patient. And let's see here, I'm going to skip.
How disingenuous this Snopes.com article is, it fascinates me, because they even cite the numbers here of 13,297 they use the average Medicare payment for respiratory infections and inflammations, as you pointed out, but then they go on to say, we therefore rate this claim mixture. While it seems plausible that Medicare disbursements to hospitals could be in the range given by Jensen in the Fox News interview, we found no evidence to support Jensen's assertion that Medicare has determined that hospitals will be paid $13,000 for patients with COVID-19 diagnoses, which isn't what Jensen said.
No, it's and people treat these same thing with these models too, right? And they're claiming that deaths are undercounted based off of. I'll just finish this up. A post shared on the ruling, right? It is standard for Medicare to pay roughly 3 times more for a patient than a respiratory condition who's on a ventilator than one who is not. This has nothing to do with the coronavirus. A part of federal stimulus bill because of a coronavirus, Medicare is paying hospitals 20% more than standard rates for COVID-19 patients. So they're rating it half true, but that one sentence there, Medicare is paying more money for standard rates for COVID patients, and means it's fully true.
855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE, as in free of this nonsense from Snopes.
When I adopted her, she was a mess. Scabs, itching, licking, missing fur, hot spots. So I get the Dinovite.
DINOVITE.com.
And the Lico Chops. Within a 4-week total, Sheba is 105 lean pounds of shiny, smooth, happy dog. And she loves it.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
Dinovite for life.
DINOVITE.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Got shaving irritation? Shave Secret shaving oil can help stop it. Shave Secret doesn't cost much and is an all-American product. My name is Chuck Howard, and I developed Shave Secret and pioneered its use starting back in 1991. Ingrown hairs drove me nuts for years. Shaving oil changed all that. Why put up with ingrown hair, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. Shave Secret provides men and women with what we believe is the best shave ever. Our proprietary blend of 100% natural base and essential oils plus a hint of menthol was designed to help eliminate shaving irritations like ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. We'll lose those shaving irritations. Available at Super Walmart, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant Eagle, Discount Drug, Navy and Marine Exchanges, Amazon, and ShaveSecret.com. Use the code FTL for Free Talk Live and get a discount. Shave Secret, the best shave ever.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Vincent.
And hopefully this gets people's attention because the universal basic income, and people seem to be eating it up. Well, thanks to Intercoin, every member of a community can receive a periodic airdrop of money they can use on necessities. This UBI can be funded by outside donors or by the community democratically voting to gradually inflate their internal money supply. Community currencies powered by Intercoin enable communities to help their own without waiting for the federal government and without disincentivizing paid work. The arrangement is completely voluntary and democratic. Intercoin is attempting to regain some of our freedoms that are threatened on the internet and in the real world. We think that is important here on Free Talk Live, so important that Free Talk Live accepted $40,000 worth of Intercoin tokens from Intercoin Inc. for advertising. If you think freedom is important too, check out Intercoin at intercoin.org. You can invest in this project and potentially make big gains, or just be involved and perhaps shape its future. That's intercoin.org, I-N-T-E-R, coin.org. Let's go to the phones. We've got Frigo Paul calling. You're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, good evening, guys. How are you?
Hey, what's on your mind?
Well, I work at a corporate home improvement center in California, in the San Francisco Bay Area. And I just wanted to talk about a little kind of ironic phenomenon I noticed with the masks. And I'm kind of torn on them myself because I won't have anyone telling me what to do, right? I mean, I hate coercion in any way, shape, or form. But at the same time, it's kind of cool that you can cover your face in public now. Can cover your face. Like, it just makes me reminisce of old Wild West days. But, you know, it makes me think of, like, the Wild Wild West, you know?
Yeah, I see benefits in it from things like, you know, circumventing facial recognition software and things like that.
That, too.
I mean, that's certainly beneficial, but I still don't like the restrictive aspects of it.
So I wanted to mention that I saw someone. I've seen a lot of really cool homemade masks that I like, and I actually commissioned, since I'm forced to wear one at work. I actually commissioned a friend of mine that I met here to sew up some old T-shirts into some masks, and then I thought to myself, well, she's not the only person doing them, and then I realized that there's, no pun intended, essentially a bunch of unconscious agorist businesses popping up, unlicensed, unregulated mask makers that are popping up and you know, doing a little grassroots economy thing. Well, if they are charging at all for them. But the irony is, of course, that instead of people learning about agorism, which I'll have to make sure that part of my payment is like a little illumination on the topic of agorism for my new friend here, the mask maker. But it's funny because these agorist things are propping up the state, you know?
Well, I don't know how much their masks are actually propping up the state. Frigo Paul, thank you so much for the call. I like the idea of people just engaging in voluntary interactions. I mean, if somebody wants to sit at their house and make a mask and then sell it to someone, that's wonderful. Let's do exactly that. But the idea that a mask made from someone's T-shirt is going to be effective at anything, it bothers me. Maybe it is. Maybe you can just hold a T-shirt over your face and not get COVID-19. But it doesn't seem likely to be true.
Well, like my understanding of the logic is that if let's say you're sick, you have COVID-19 and you sneeze or you cough or you know, even when people are talking, there's been hosts here who would be talking and making a point and they'd have spit fly into my eye or I'd be on stage. So, I mean, you know, no matter what, even if you're not sneezing or coughing, right, liquids get out of your mouth. So what the mask does is it just prevents most of that. If you cough into your mask, obviously a little particulate, you know, a little thing. So Trump calls it the invisible enemy, right? Because no matter what you could do, we could seal up every single crevice in this house with duct tape, and there's still particles that are going to get inside. It's just what masks do is it helps like mitigate a lot of that by having like the globs of, you know, spit or snot or whatever not flying over everywhere. But it's not a 100% fail-safe thing, just like with gloves, right? You know, if you don't want to get something gross on your hands or onto whatever you're touching, you wear a glove. The second, though, you touch something else, you have to remove the glove and put on a new one. And I guess now it's good because a lot of these gloves are made out of petroleum products. So now that, you know, oil is at like negative $5 a barrel, it makes sense. And a lot of it's funny too, actually, of the hypocrisy. A lot of these people who are buying in to this whole wear a mask, wear gloves, this whole fear-mongering thing, these people were just a few months ago saying that the world was going to end in 10 years if we didn't embrace total communism because of climate change. And yet now they're ruining the climate by throwing out all this stuff is supposed to be disposable, right? By cutting down trees to make masks and using petroleum to make gloves, all of which you have to throw out every hour anyways.
Well, couldn't the gloves at least be sterilized and reused? I mean, they are rubber.
Yeah, I'm talking about the latex, or I'm talking about like the plastic ones. Yeah, that is a good point. Like if you just have like a tub of like 91% isopropyl, you just put your hands in. Yeah, that is a good point. But then again, I don't know. Like, could it be corrosive? But then again, people could
just wash their freaking hands.
Well, who has time for 1 minute to sing happy birthday twice while washing your hands?
Well, 30 seconds. It's not 1 minute, but I mean, it doesn't take 30 seconds to kill most viruses unless you're going to go out there and make someone's food. 30 seconds is going to be overkill.
Well, with regular soap, my understanding is it just makes it slippery, right? It makes your hands slippery. Soap doesn't actually kill whatever's on there. It just makes your hands slippery. I mean, like the number one thing
it breaks down the outer cell walls or something along those lines because it physically beats them to death.
Okay, all right, I wasn't sure on that, but
that's what I've been told. But that to me seems strange because that means you could just rub your hands together dry and achieve exactly the same effect, right?
Or you use of a heat from the friction, right? Because viruses don't like heat. The main thing is, like, there's what's ridiculous is, and which is why I think this whole thing is a total scam, because these quote professionals know better, that the whole prevention thing, you're never going to prevent anyone from getting sick. And I remember years ago, I'd hear like in Japan, children were getting like very serious like illnesses. Like in the United States, when you get a cold, you stay home for the day. Or some people, you know, they go out and about. But in places like Japan, where they have a very sterilized society, not everyone's neurotic, but, you know, people are very good about washing their hands, keeping things clean. Children are getting sick at early ages and are getting sicker because we don't have that natural immune system built. Compared to like my mother, right? She lived in East Montreal, you know, very poor area. Her and her brother, my uncle, they would wash their hands all the time. They were sick every flu season. Their neighbors, you know, would play in the dirt, play in the mud, never wash their hands, pick their nose, everything. Never got sick because they have that built-up immunity, right? From sunlight, from vitamins and everything. That's all the stuff that you're getting banned from Facebook advocating, right? For making fun of Trump, the president, right? You know, love him or hate him, for saying that outside sunshine and fresh air is good for you and it helps you fight this virus, it kills the bug. For making fun of him for that. No, just stay inside, live on recycled air, live on junk food from DoorDash, and kill yourself.
Well, that hits close to home.
Well, that's what the government is saying.
That's what I do most of the time.
Well, yeah, and that's what the government... Okay, so maybe...
I spend a lot of time outside as well, though, so there is that.
So the government should love you then. You're doing everything they want.
I don't think that's true. But hand sanitizer has been known to weaken people's immune systems because they use it all the time. So, and now it's suddenly recommended, hey, destroy your immune system to protect yourself from things that your immune system would fight off if you hadn't destroyed it. This is Free Talk Live.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's Aria.
And it's Vincent.
And you can join us and other liberty-minded voluntarists, anarchists, and libertarians from June the 29th until July the 5th for Fork Fest 2020 at Rogers Campground in the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire. Happening the week after the Porcupine Freedom Festival, Fork Fest is decentralized, which means no one is in charge. So there's no ticket cost. Just reserve your camping site, your RV site, or motel room at Rogers Campground for June the 29th until July the 5th. Ooh, I need to actually remember to do that. And where better to celebrate Independence Day than around other freedom-loving activists in the Shire? You can just relax and go camping, or you can create whatever experience or event you'd like others to have. But if you're planning an event for Fork Fest, let others know in advance. You can connect with other Fork Festers via the unofficial Telegram chat or the Fork Fest forum. Links to those are on the unofficial website, forkfest.party. Again, that's forkfest.party. And let's go to the phones. We've got James calling from Phoenix. James, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hi, Aria. What's up, guy?
Hi, what's on your mind, James?
Well, just like an anti-statist keeps on harping against the wrong government because it's, again, your anti-statism is your religion, and your religion informs your politics. I'm going to keep on harping on that this is Corona confirmation virus.
Corona confirmation virus.
Corona confirmation bias
Okay.
virus, of which you and the kid that you're looking at have affirmed for the last 2.5 hours. You
Okay.
just keep on railing against the government. And one thing I wouldn't, ladies and gentlemen, ever do was take medical advice from two people that are completely uneducated about medical issues. And
sure,
I don't make fun
Solid
of people
advice,
that wear
James.
masks, but I can't blame them because there are plenty of studies and plenty of doctors and nurses wear masks for a reason. They've been doing it since long before you and I were ever born. And the people... Oh, I'm getting a phone call from one of your fanatics. How about that?
So, James, I'm disappointed. I thought you'd be smarter than this to believe into the whole Corona hoax.
James, you can't talk over people. Hold on. Vincent, what were you saying?
I'm disappointed. I thought James would be smarter than to buy into this whole Corona hoax. I mean...
James?
Alcohol depresses the immune system. Have you quit drinking, James?
I think we got rid of him. Well done, Vincent.
Oh, well, I know. I'm curious too. And I mean, he's given us grief. Yeah, neither of us are medical professionals, but I don't want to have. I don't think anyone should be getting life advice from someone who has allegedly 3 DUIs. I mean, I don't think that's very healthy either.
Is it
James.
only 3? I heard it was 99.
It was, geez, I guess, is there a limit? Arizona must have a limit, right? Where they just stop charging you if you get over 99.
So anyway, moving on. 3 California counties are defying state orders on reopening businesses. And this is surprising coming out of California. It was Stephen from Ohio who listens at discord.freetalklive.com who was calling James repeatedly. So that's funny. 3 counties in California have announced their reopening segments of their economy in defiance of Governor Gavin Newsom's statewide restrictions on non-essential business, which were put in place to curb the spread of coronavirus. The announcements, which came as anti-lockdown protests sprang up across the state, raised questions of how much Newsom can expect voluntary compliance with social distancing restrictions as unemployment skyrockets, cabin fever sets in for people stuck at home, and quarantine measures become increasingly politicized. Those are all major problems. The only one that I really am concerned about, I mean, the unemployment thing, that sucks, but the government created that. Yes. Well, the government created all of these, but the people stuck at home are the ones who, in my experience, are probably suffering most right now. They're going crazy locked up in their homes, and they feel, whether the government has actually restricted their right to leave the house or not, they feel that they're not allowed to leave their homes.
Hey, whoa. What about all the poor, nursing and medical staff who are so bored and have such little to do that every day they have to come up with making a new TikTok video? Don't you feel sorry for them? The heroes of this crisis.
No, I don't have any sympathy for them whatsoever.
I mean, I have sympathy for the ones who are being laid off and furloughed because of this crap. But the ones who are, making the TikTok videos are,
They want to believe themselves to be heroes, right?
Yeah.
But this is their job. You don't get to sign up for a job and then proclaim yourself to be a hero for doing the job that you voluntarily signed up to do. It's like becoming a police officer and going home each night, patting yourself on the back. Woo, I'm out there keeping those streets safe. I'm such a hero. That's asinine.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And that's what nurses and doctors are doing by portraying themselves to be heroes. So Modoc County was the first county to make this move on Thursday of last week, presumably. It announced it would reopen many kinds of venues on Friday, including restaurants, bars, and churches. Now, this is a small, rural, and conservative district on California's border with Oregon. It has about 9,600 residents and no confirmed cases of COVID-19. This speaks to the major issue of having a large state, or even a small state like New Hampshire, attempting to make a set of rules that is applicable to all the counties within those states, when the circumstances within those counties can be no confirmed cases of COVID-19. Why shouldn't they be able to reopen?
Yeah, it's same thing with Coos County up in, which is even more remote than wherever they're talking about, I'm sure. Coos County here in New Hampshire, there's, I think, maybe like one case or very few deaths at least. And no, I mean, the governors don't care. I mean, what's good for V is good for everyone.
We're not in this at all to defy anything. We align with the plans. We're just in a different phase in this because of where we are and how we live, said Heather Hadwick, Deputy Director of Modoc County's Office of Human Emergency Services. That's a long title for someone who resides in a county of 9,600. Why do they even need an Office of Emergency Services, much less a director and a deputy director? So the county's plan, and I wish she had had a little more guts to her statement than this, saying, oh, well, we're not defying anything. We're just pointing out that we're in a different stage of the plan. These phased plans. We have a plan and we're going to phase it and we're going to implement a phase in which to plan. It's totally stupid. Have you seen the Illinois plan? They had to make a graphic of it because it's so bizarre, so counterintuitive, and so confusing that it could only be represented in graphical form. It may have been Illinois. I don't recall exactly what state it was. But in some phases, bars were allowed to open at 25% capacity, and then 2 phases later, 50% capacity, and then 75% capacity, but social distancing applied if you weren't with that group. It's just complete nonsense.
And none of it's going to matter either if it's 10%, 25% in phase 1, because as soon as all we have to do is just fudge the numbers and show a graph that shows that deaths are skyrocketing, and then we're all going to be back into square one.
I'm scared to think that that's true, but I don't know. Have you ever seen the movie The Man in the Mask?
Oh, no.
With Leonardo DiCaprio. It's really good. One of the most striking scenes in the movie is
The Man in the Iron Mask?
Yeah, that's
what
I
meant. I did see that one. Yeah.
What do I call it? The Man in the Mask?
Yeah.
Yeah, The Man in the Iron Mask. Well, one of the most striking parts of that movie is when he gets the mask taken off of him, and then he's forced back into it. That's some of the best acting he ever did. Do anything else. Just kill me, but don't put me back in that mask. And that's how I think Americans will respond if the government comes and be like, no, go back to your homes. Americans will do anything else, but we are not going back to our homes. That's what I would expect.
I guess maybe you're more optimistic than I am. I think all they have to do is just, wave that number. Oh, people are going to die. Oh, more people are going to die. Oh, grandma's going to die. And then people are going to apologize for protesting and beg to be enslaved again.
I think already we're seeing an end to Americans' patience for dealing with this. They're like, all right, we've done this long enough. It's time to get back out.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. I mean, I even saw Chris Cuomo was like, and Don Lemon, the main, the figureheads. Chris Cuomo of CNN was like the figurehead of staying inside because he did it for his job, and he's calling people fools and idiots, and he's getting pretty hostile. So I don't know, maybe the floodgates can't be held back much longer.
Didn't he get the coronavirus?
Allegedly, yeah, where he was having hallucinations of his dead father with his high fever of 103 degrees Fahrenheit.
85, that's a lot of details to know off head like that. 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I started fighting the IRS over 40 years ago when they tried to seize my mother's house. I sued the IRS and won. I beat the IRS then, and I've been beating them ever since. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I've helped thousands of people deal with tax problems they thought might never be solved. I can help you too. If you owe taxes you can't pay, don't wait another day. There's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com, danpilla.com.
Hand sanitizer is not an option, it's now a must-have. But where can you find it? Online at 2020safe.net. The highest quality hand sanitizer that destroys microorganisms and prevents transmission of pathogens. Now available in a 1-liter bottle with a bonus at 2020safe.net. When you order a 1-liter bottle of our high-quality hand sanitizer, you'll receive a 30-count bottle of Immune Booster, a $14.95 value, free by using code GCN at checkout. 2020safe.net offers many natural products to help support health and help you live a more fulfilled life. From germ-zapping hand sanitizer to immune-building nutraceuticals to natural stress, anxiety, and sleep aids. 2020safe.net has what you need in stock today. Just click 2020safe.net. That's 2020safe.net to get our 1-liter bottle of high-quality hand sanitizer with your bonus free 30-count bottle of Immune Booster. Remember to enter GCN at checkout and the bonus is yours free. Go now to 2020safe.net.
Houseflies defecate every 4 to 5 minutes, spreading diseases and germs. Protect your food and your health with Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun, which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic, no batteries required, only $39.95. Use discount code GCN and get an extra 10% off your purchase at bugassault.com. Fire your fly swatter. Get your Bug Assault today.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. If you're quick, you can still get on the air with us. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And it's Vincent.
And I want to say thank you to Nihor, who is tonight's amplifier. That means he's a member of the AMP program, which you can find at amp.freetalklive.com. It stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote. So if you like Free Talk Live, if you like the show, if you want to help us get on more radio stations, all of the money contributed to the AMP program goes directly to helping us advertise, market, and promote Free Talk Live, hence this name. So Nihor, thank you so much for your contributions. We hope you continue amplifying the show, and we hope you're continuing to enjoy it. Again, that's amp.freetalklive.com. Now, a bit of a change here because nothing has stopped happening except the economy in the coronavirus, the COVID-19 crap.
Tell me about it. I've been reporting on that crap for 2 straight months.
And yeah, and I'm so tired of it. I'm ready for other news. So Trump wants to order the border wall painted black, and it could drive up the cost $500 million or more. Now, for anyone who remembers 2016, Hillary was on video at some point during that campaign saying that she was on record voting for a wall, but what she actually voted for was a fence. So she wasn't voting for a wall, she was voting for a fence. And the Washington Post and the left-wing media, they were like, yay, yay, go Hillary. And then we have a picture of an actual fence here that the Washington Post is describing as a wall. The hypocrisy there is astounding. There's a difference between a fence and a wall when it benefits Hillary. But when it can make Trump look bad, we can call this fence a wall.
Well, and it's counterproductive to his original point. One of his original main points, actually, about the wall was that it would prevent the entry of like illegal drugs, like
well, those get tunneled under it anyway.
Fentanyl, yeah, that's a good point. Which they could use ground penetrating radar. And I mean, for people who criticize Ron Paul for being like a border hawk, I mean, like he was always against a wall, saying that the technology, the technology is there to prevent human trafficking and drug trafficking.
Well, legalize drugs, legalize prostitution, and both of those problems go away.
Well, yes, but I would say both, like the fentanyl and some of the stuff coming out of China, like there is a huge problem in New Hampshire with that. So I mean, I wouldn't mind to see like the worst opioids not coming across. But now that's impossible with this fence here.
Well,
it's easier than ever.
And it's because if they can't get heroin, then they will start turning to things like crocodile. And I don't know if you're familiar with that, but I mean,
it like turns you into a zombie, or it's pretty. Well, I hear it's pretty bad.
It causes gangrene. It causes necrosis of where the injection points. I mean, it's horrific stuff. And the people who are heroin addicts, they will turn to that and begin making it.
That's a good point.
It's already been found in Texas and probably New Hampshire as well. It just isn't very common. And of course, it's eating Russia alive, almost literally. So I would rather they be on heroin than that. And those are the real options. It's not, okay, well, they might be on heroin or they might be on Lortabs. It's they're going to be on heroin or they're going to find a substitute. And the substitute will kill them.
That's a good point.
Way faster than heroin will. And probably significantly faster than legal heroin would kill them. So President Trump is once more pushing to have his border wall painted black, a design change that is projected to add at least $500 million in cost, according to government contracting estimates obtained by the Washington Post. Who the hell estimated this, man? That's what I want to know. Because I can't imagine how it would cost $500 million to paint this fence black.
Well, if it was someone from the government or a government contractor, probably, if they made the estimate, multiply that by like 0.1, and that's probably the initial cost.
So it raises the question for me of why does he want the fence? Let's stop calling it a fence. The article here repeatedly calls it a wall, but it's not. It's a fence. Why does he want the fence painted black? And you pointed out, well, because it will be hotter. Because
I saw the headline earlier, so that's why I didn't just suddenly think of it. Well, my second thought was that people won't be able to see it at night,
which is funnier. So Trump has not let go of the idea, insisting that the dark color will enhance its forbidding appearance and leave the steel too hot to touch during summer months, because they can't just take off their shirts and use those to scale it, which they're going to have to do anyway because of the barbed wire at the top of it. They're going to need their shirts up there to not, get embedded with little spikes of steel. So that's what we're looking at in America. Trump, during a meeting, directed aides to seek input from North Dakota-based Fisher Sand and Gravel, a company the president favors, probably because they helped him get elected. Fisher has a $400 million contract to build a section of new barrier in Arizona. $400 million to build, not to build the entire barrier in Arizona, but to build a section of it. Government waste is astounding.
Well, when you're able to put in any number you want into your bank account, like the government can, you can just print money out of thin air. Then, what's the point? Why not buy a $500 toilet seat or a $5,000 hammer?
The Post obtained a copy of painting estimates that federal contracting officials produced, and it shows costs ranging, oh my God, $500 million is lowballing it. And it shows costs ranging from $500 million for 2 coats of acrylic paint to more than $3 billion on the structure's 30-foot steel bollards, the high end of the options the officials have identified. So if they say $500 million, in the end, it's going to take them 12 years to do it, and it's going to cost $5 or $6 billion. So if they're estimating $3 billion, it's going to take them 12 years to do it again, and it's going to cost the taxpayer $25-30 billion to paint this stupid fence.
So I'm just doing so at home. So I'm just looking it up. A half a gallon of acrylic black paint is, at least online, just look it up. Buy American. It's not Home Depot, but at least what I have, first thing that pops up, $46. So $3 billion. Divide that by 46. So we're going to need, let's see here, 6,521,391 gallons of black acrylic paint. So 6.5 million gallons of paint.
Well, sort of. I mean, there's labor costs and things like that involved in that.
Oh, yes, that is a good point also. Oh, yeah, especially if we're using like union labor, then yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. So this ain't going to get finished. If we're using union labor, it's not going to get finished until 2022.
Yeah.
Or soon, 22, but sorry, the 22nd century.
Yeah, 2029 maybe.
No, I was going to say 2100. Probably 2100 we'll finally see it. So, Trump's head in a vat will finally see his the fence completed.
I'm curious now, and now I want to do the math of how much, if these pictures are accurate, and that's across the entire southern border, how much distance is that, and how much surface area is that? How much paint would it take to give that 2 coats? Now, that's not math we can do just sitting here, but
no.
I imagine you could paint at least 50 of these with a bucket of paint. At least 50 of these. I don't know. They're 30 feet tall, so that is a lot of paint. But 500 million, 3 billion. Why would even the most diehard Trump supporter support a wall that cost $500 million or a fence, $500 million just to paint?
Yeah, just to paint. Well, I mean, and I haven't heard. It's funny. Like compared to what we're talking about now, and even before the coronavirus in 2020, and what was being talked about in 2015 and 2016. I remember back when it was Mexico would be paying for the wall. And now a lot of people misunderstood that, meaning that like Trump was literally going to force the Mexican government to write, or the Bank of Mexico to write out a check for the U.S. government. The argument was that Trump was going to stop most foreign aid, and that the money that the wall would have been built with would have been taken out of the foreign aid that's for whatever reason, right? No one likes to talk about it, but whatever reason, the U.S. government gives like billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars to even countries that are hostile to the U.S. government. So that was the argument, right? That they take out of a foreign aid right now. I don't think Trump has done anything to slash quote foreign aid, which basically just goes into the pockets of dictators and politicians anyways. I don't think he's done anything to stop that, right? But all he has to do is just go on Twitter and have a picture of a few steel slits and says the wall is being built, and his more cultish supporters are going to say, oh, there you have it. The wall is being built. We've made America great again.
But it's not a wall. It's a fence.
Yes.
And a quick Google search here reveals that the actual cost to construct a wall along the remaining 1,300 miles of the border could be as high as $20 million per mile.
Oh, yeah. I remember, like, the initial number, they said it'd be in the billions. It was like...
$45 billion is what they're talking right now.
Okay, I remember back in 2016, they said it was going to be around, like, 10 or 20 billion.
I mean, that's the way these government programs go. They say it's going to cost us $500 million to paint the wall, and then once it gets near the end of it, or once they get halfway through it and people are already invested in it, it's too late to stop it. Suddenly, it's actually 10 times more expensive than we thought. The government sucks at building things, and it sucks at paying for it, and it doesn't matter because the taxpayers will always foot the bill. This has been Free Talk Live. If you like the show, head on over to amp.freetalklive.com.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had got involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be a part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally